Hi, everyone. GameHounds podcast. We're here. Nick is here. I
Oh,
am here. We're starting the show. Nick's headset is dying for some reason, even though he supposedly has had it on his charger all week. It just decided to not work. And now he's plugged it in, and now he can't hear me as he says, start the show, and then plugs in the headset. So now he can't hear me. So while he sorts that out, I am taking a COVID test. Yay, me. Um,
I hear you. You're just so quiet. Okay,
am I?
say something again.
All right, so I'm
Okay.
taking the COVID test. I have how many minutes left? I have 1 minute left. So I think that we're safe. Survey
Oh,
says
okay.
negative. Yeah.
Good.
I've been
Stay that way.
pretty periodically testing because uh, Chris had been COVID positive. We didn't test the girl child because we just assumed. Um, and I,
Did she go to school then?
no, she wasn't in school.
Oh, okay,
It was
okay,
still summer vacation at that point.
okay.
No, yeah, no, it
You
was.
might have COVID. I don't know. We're gonna assume you have COVID, so just go to school as
Let's
normal.
face
And
it, the way COVID is going around here in the Bay Area, I would venture to guess a good percentage of kids at that school are COVID positive because COVID is very much running rampant in the Bay Area. Now,
Hmm,
is it the COVID that we remember? No, it's just a cold at this point. But
it really has
I
become
was
a new flu, a new cold.
it is just a new flu. Actually,
Ezio
what it
says,
isn't even a flu. It's just a slightly more than mild cold.
Ezio Helsing in chat says, I is here to get in shovel range.
What?
What are you getting in shovel range for?
Um,
Shovel Knight?
the
Shovel, are you gonna bury us?
oh, I will bury you. I've been testing regularly and have come up negative consistently. And I took the test today because my nose was running and I sneezed a couple times, and I'm like,
Oh, he
just
says
gonna
looking
check.
Discord.
Oh, I I had a good week. How were you, Nick? How's things?
Things are really good.
My
I'm doing quite well, all things considered. We have a lot of uh plans coming up. A lot of travel plans coming up, so I'll definitely be off and
hmm
on for the next couple months. But yeah, there's a lot of games coming out. There's travel. Uh, it's like, oh, good things are coming.
Yeah,
In my
gonna be
personal
a
life, at least, the rest of the
good.
world, who the fuck knows? But like,
Oh, there's not good things there. We'll
yeah,
talk about that in news.
yeah, I'm the little guy in the comic book who's like, this is fine. As the world burns around him, I'm like,
Is this fine?
I'm cool. You know what?
Hey, you people
I
watching
like it
right
hot.
now. You people watching right now, hit the like and subscribe button or the
No,
notification bell or whatever, all the things, all the
I
stuff
think
that's
it's
down there.
down that way on your
Could you
side.
please do that for us? We'd appreciate it. So my thing this week was right after I got off the show with you. I'm sitting here right where I am right now, and I'm watching TV, which is just on the other side there, and my dog Buddy is hanging out. Here, I'll show you. In his spot. That's Buddy's spot. He just hangs out there.
No, that's
And
nice.
yeah, and he gets up and he just sits up and starts doing this. And I'm like, "Buddy, are you okay?" So I go over and I look at his eyes, and his eyes are doing this. And I thought, "Oh God, he's having a seizure."
Oh,
So I give him a hug. I'm like, "Hey, bud, are you okay?" I hold on to him for about 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. And finally, I'm like, "Okay, you seem to be better." I let him sit down. He goes back to his spot, lays down, and I check him 20 minutes later, and he's fine. And I'm like, "Oh God, my
okay.
dog had a seizure." I guess to Monday morning, I will be taking him in. So I stayed the night here because of the whole COVID situation and over at the other house. So I woke up in the morning and there's Buddy. And I'm like, all right, dogs, let's go out, go potty. And he looks at me and he's like, again, like he can't walk. He's falling. And so I hold him and I hold him and I hold him. And 20 minutes later, it's still happening. So I call the emergency vet and they're like, bring him in now. An hour and a half later, around 50 minutes later, I'm sitting in the waiting room and he's still having it.
Hmm.
So it was the good news, not a seizure and not a stroke.
Okay.
It was something called geriatric vestibular syndrome. All of a sudden, he had vertigo. He was dizzy.
Huh.
Like he'd been spun around on a chair for I don't know if you ever spun a like a cat around on a
Oh,
chair and they do this.
I haven't done that, but I've spun around on a chair myself.
Yeah, that's what he was like. But it wouldn't stop. And it
Hmm.
didn't stop for 5 days. Today he is much better. Still when he puts his head down and to sniff to go potty like at a tree and he lifts his head, he'll sometimes fall over after that. But
Hmm.
it is just a thing that happens with some dogs when they get old. And it happens once, and that's it. But yeah, so I spent all Monday, all day long in the emergency room with Buddy and have been dealing with a dog that can, for the first couple of days, that could barely walk. And poor thing, he kept on trying to get him up to a tree and pee. I would just fall over and then it'd be like,
Oh
"What was I
no.
doing? What was I doing?" It's like, "Come on, buddy, you have to pee. You have to pee." And he'd be like, "Okay, I'm gonna try again." It's like, and he'd just fall right over. And it's like, "Buddy, just puppy squat. Just puppy squat." But no, he's a three-legged pisser. He needs to be on three legs. But he managed it and he's on anti-dizzy meds for the next couple of days, still left. But yeah, but he seems to be okay. All things being equal. It was very concerning. And
Okay.
my boss, who loves him, loves Buddy. And he's like, make sure my dude's okay, all right? Don't leave that place unless we know my dude's fine. Like your dude's fine. Your dude's
That's
good.
nice. That's
Yeah.
nice. Your boss is like, whatever the fuck you do, you take care of Buddy.
You
You
save
take
that
care of Buddy.
dog.
Stay. If I see you in the office, I'm gonna fire you.
If I didn't take care of Buddy, I think my boss Bo would absolutely fire me. He
He's like, Edie, I
absolutely
I don't trust you. I am stepping in.
he absolutely loves Buddy.
Oh,
Because Buddy just has decided his office is his spot. Like that's his spot here. His office is his spot. So there's a little dog bed right underneath the window, and Buddy gets in that
so
bed and
every time
He
he's in
sits.
the office, he just chose your boss's office as like, no, I want to sleep. I want to sleep
I want
here.
to sit there. That's where I'm. This is my good spot. This is where I'm happy.
Edie who? No, I want this spot
This
here.
spot right here. And he gets in that bed and he stays in that bed for 8 hours. He doesn't get up unless he wants to go for a drink of water, which the water bowl's near me. So he gets up, goes for a drink of water, then goes back in, lies back down.
Aw,
Doesn't move. Does not move an inch.
that's sweet.
And Bo loves him.
I
So
would too.
I knew that I could get out of the all hands company meeting because I was saying I need to take Buddy to the emergency room and they're like, "Go." This is a mandatory meeting for everybody but you right now.
Yeah, mandatory.
Yep. So, uh
Okay. Yes, I was
Ezio
just gonna
says
click
to
that.
anyone who wants to play ESO on console, there's a new add-on called Lore Book Locations by Shinny. You can now finish the lore book collection. Oh,
Part
good
of me
to know.
wants to go back to ESO because I remember it was a good Elder Scrolls game. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I could go for a good Elder Scrolls game. I certainly won't play it now because of all the other stuff coming out. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I want that open world. I want that. I'm just gonna walk in a direction and see what I discover. I
Hmm.
kind of want that, and you can't get it anywhere else now.
No. Boy, I gotta give
Uh,
AC Wraith a hand here. He
for
looked
geriatric
up and has a link to
vestibular syndrome.
geriatric vestibular syndrome.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I have two people to play with. It's. Wait, are you gonna click it or am I gonna click it? Who's gonna click it? I'm okay.
There we go.
You have two people to play with. Yes, I know. It's not the issue of that. It's the issue of time. It's
Hmm.
finding the time to play it.
Yeah, ESO is a time sink, especially
It's an Elder Scrolls. Yeah, yeah.
when you have your established character and then you leave it for a couple of years and then you come back and you're
Oh
lost.
yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
don't
It'll take
remember
me
how
a
any
while.
of the systems work.
Oh man, I spent an hour a couple nights ago on the Steam machine downloading mods for Baldur's
Hmm.
Gate 3
Yeah.
before I realized, oh shit, I can't use any of these on consoles.
Uh-uh.
Oh, okay. So now I have to make a choice. Do I want to like boot up the save on the PS5 and continue there, or do I want to boot up the save on the Steam machine and continue from there?
You know what? Do the Steam
Because
machine because
all of the mods,
I have it on Steam. I'm gonna download it. We should play together.
that's true. All of the mods were just cosmetic things. So just new costumes, new faces, new things like that. I
Hmm.
think the only functional one was like, oh, the when the icon hovers over something, it gives you more information. But it
Oh,
was
that's kind of nice.
interesting searching the mod scene because so much of it was here's a new class, here's a change to how spells work, here's a whole new character. And it's like, oh, like people
Wow.
do a lot.
Hmm.
A series says, I don't play ESO, but I watched a 2+ hour video about the Enderroll total conversion for Skyrim, if that counts.
That counts.
Yeah.
You think the mod community is crazy for Baldur's Gate? You should see the mod situation for Crusader Kings.
Oh man, maybe I should play
They actually somebody and it
Skyrim
was a
mod.
multi-year effort by many, many people and have created a skin for the game where you can play in the Game of Thrones universe.
I saw that
Hmm.
and I
I
bought
played it.
Crusader Kings 2 with a total conversion Game of Thrones mod way back in the day.
Hmm.
And that was when I realized I don't know how to fucking play this game.
Yeah, I
Because I
played the
downloaded the
Crusader
mod
Kings 3
and I
one and
downloaded
it's
everything
great.
and I was like, okay, let's do this. Yeah, I want to get into some Westerosi politics, man. This is awesome. How do I take a turn? Is time moving? I don't know. How do I get time to move? What's going on? There's literally nothing happening on screen. I
No.
think people are moving. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. It's Crusader Kings. It is a grand strategy game. It is not an
Yeah.
RPG.
I
But
will I will stick
the
with um have you been watching House of the Dragon?
I have not, and there's a reason for that.
Oh, you haven't seen any of it.
Oh, I've seen the first season.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't watched any of the seasons afterwards. But there's a reason why I haven't started House of the Dragon. I don't think Chris watched the first season, so I'll have to watch the first season over with him. But I did not know that until last night. Chris has never seen any Ted Lasso.
Oh.
So I'm making him watch Ted Lasso. And he's like, does it get any better? I'm like, yes, stop it. You're
It was
watching.
it
You're
was good in the
watching.
beginning.
Well, the first couple of episodes, he's watched 2 episodes and he's like, I'm like, it's window dressing, Chris. You're going to watch as many episodes of Ted Lasso as you made me watch of Ozark. And I hated Ozark. And
Oh,
I
Ozark was
watched,
good. I
I
liked
didn't like
Ozark.
it. Didn't like it.
Mm.
So
AC Race says even I watch House of the Dragon. Come on.
Oh,
Not
come
a
on. You haven't
recap.
seen Ted Lasso? Oh, such a good show.
Ted Lasso has the unfortunate existence of being stuck on Apple,
Yeah.
which is a location for a lot of good shows. I like a lot of things on
Oh,
Apple.
yeah.
We were just watching another show, yeah, For All Mankind last season. Silo. Oh, there's a new season of Silo that's almost done that I
Mm-hmm.
need to
Mm-hmm.
start on Apple. Apple is like the place to go for really good, especially sci-fi
Really,
TV.
really good TV.
And nobody gives a shit because Apple is the smallest streamer of all the streamers by far. Even Peacock has more than Apple.
Right.
Like Apple is just you've got money to burn and they're burning it, and it's like the PSVR 2. It
Yeah.
Apple
Yeah.
TV is a financially irresponsible thing for Apple to do, and I love it because they are giving me lots of good content, and I will embrace it while I can, but I am under no illusions that that whole service is like,
Severance was
oh,
on Apple TV, right?
yep.
Yep. Severance. Fantastic show. Apple TV originals, I think by and large, I mean, overall, Apple TV originals, they're better. They're better cast, better written, just better shows. But on top of that is they commit to them. Like Netflix made some great shows, but you can't trust that even a fantastic show
Have you
won't get like just killed in
did
at
you
the end of the first season, even though it's left on a
did
cliffhanger.
you see the news reports that Netflix is now like season 2 for a lot of their huge hits have dropped by like 50% viewership. Like they are even their big hit shows are unable to retain viewership, and people like, "Why is this?" And all the comments are like, "Are you fucking serious?" Like you have to ask why.
Because we can't trust that you're going to give us a season 3 if we commit to season 2.
Mhm.
We can't trust you
And
because
it's
you have canceled some of your
eager
best shows.
cancellations, it's too long in between seasons. God knows, like I was just talking about House of the Dragon. It's a really great show. By the time the next season comes out, I'm not going to remember a goddamn thing about it.
Oh, I have to
And
rewatch. That's why I have to rewatch the first season because I don't
you have
remember
to
anything
rewatch season
happened in
1.
2.
You have to rewatch season 1 and 2, and you'll have
Yep.
to watch 3. So you know what? You know what? Save yourself the time. I believe season 4 is going to be the last season. Wait until 2028, then start watching House of the Dragon.
Right. Right. So, yeah, bottom line, Apple TV,
Yeah.
I hate that it is behind a paywall. I mean, it's all behind a paywall,
It's
really.
not just a paywall. It's just that like nobody subscribes to Apple TV for some reason.
Nobody's
Like everyone's it's just like the the redheaded stepchild of streaming services.
drop your if you're going to pick a streaming service and you have limited cash, might I recommend drop Netflix, get Apple TV because it really is that good.
It depends on what you
Such
want. It
good
depends on what you want.
shows. But
Apple's a
also,
Apple's a good place for sci-fi.
Apple's a good place for not just sci-fi. I mean, you look at Ted Lasso, you look at it's another good Apple
Your Friends and
TV.
Neighbors is really
Your
good.
Friends and Neighbors is fantastic.
Yeah.
If it's an Apple original, generally speaking, it's really good. You don't have to worry about it. And as I said, if you get yourself into an Apple TV show and it's halfway good, if it's got halfway decent viewership, they're going to renew it for a new season. You don't have to go through that nail biting of like, okay, I'm going to get myself into this and will I get myself into a cliffhanger that never has a resolution?
Hmm.
So the well, we'll get on to Netflix. Netflix is in our news system about
Oh
how
yes.
their lack of commitment to things. We'll talk about that. But before we do that, can we start the show,
No.
please?
No.
Please, pretty please.
No.
Fuck you, we're starting it.
This podcast discusses video games, pop culture, and technology, and these podcasters have big, fat potty mouths.
Fuck
If
you.
you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom said to take out the trash and do your homework.
Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 829. We are recording this on August 16th, 2026. I'm Edie Sellers. With me is Nick DiNicola. Is that our new way of starting the show from now on?
No. I just felt, I felt the Lord speaking through me, and I just had to open my mouth.
All right, good.
Yeah.
The Lord is a potty mouth too, apparently.
Oh, like you wouldn't believe.
So, sorry for the swallow of soda. All right. Let's talk games.
Okay.
What games did you play? I'm still haven't had it much time to play games because, school started and COVID and work is going off the rails, so I haven't had a lot of time to game other than continuing on with Pokemon Go, which continues to be like it's just a collection game, but when there's nothing else to do,
Yeah.
catch a couple of Pokemon and move on.
This is a good collection game. Is there like any sort of co-op that you can do with the family?
Yeah, you can in
Like, is there?
theory do a raid with
Yeah.
people, and there are raids around, and you can have a raid with the people in your family and raid together. You can also raid remotely, and together if you can coordinate with somebody right next to you and, send each other gifts and things like that and trade Pokemon with each other. But it's really just about collection and some fighting that really it's ultimately another aspect of collection.
Mm. So you can't
So
be
it's,
like Chris. I challenge you,
yeah,
and like take him down. You can't do the classic Pokemon thing, where it's like
yeah.
I want to fight you, and then you have a
You,
competition.
they have these things called
Friend code
runts, something.
runs.
Oh yeah, I gotta give you friend code. I'll put that in the Discord today. Um, I'll put it actually during the show. I'll add it to the Discord. In case you're interested, here's the Discord information for people that are watching on the show, if I can get to the banner. Um, but I'll add it to the Discord channel
Yeah,
and right now. But you it's you can they I think it's called runts or something like that. They're essentially people that just air quote people that will show up on your map and you
says
can fight them.
put it in the pimp yourself channel.
I will put it in the Pimp Yourself channel. Um, you can fight them. They'll just randomly show up on your map and you'll fight them and steal a Pokemon from them. And generally speaking, they're shitty Pokemon. But um, yeah, I mean, there's very little fighting other than the occasional raid if you feel like spending a bunch of money on remote raid passes. And but you really don't do a lot of interacting, more it's just walking. Although, fun fact, um, even though I don't do a lot of walking, I should do more, but I haven't. The nice thing is that if I put Pokemon Go on my phone while I am in traffic and going to work in the morning, I travel slow enough that it thinks I'm walking. So I've hatched a lot of eggs on my commute because that's how you hatch eggs is by how many distances you walked. So I've got a lot of miles on Pokemon. Like steps
Okay.
wise, not so much, but but with on the actual Pokemon app, it thinks I walk like crazy.
That sounds like a terrible commute.
It, it's not bad. It's just when I get off the freeway and going down the Embarcadero, and you You go and then you stop at a stoplight sign, and then you go or stoplight, and then you go and you stop at a stoplight,
You
and you
go and
go
you
and
stop.
stop at a stoplight.
It's just,
So
oh God,
that's not so bad. It's
that
just
sounds,
one little section just around the waterfront by AT&T
this just
Park
sounds
and
frustrating.
underneath the bridge. It's fine. It's not frustrating at all.
Good.
It's the commute is not bad. It really isn't. It's the parking that's the problem. And I
Mm.
also get credit for circling the block looking for parking. So
See,
what game
really,
did you
it's
play?
all just to play Pokemon.
It is just to play Pokemon.
I guess, yeah, okay. So I played on the emulator. I picked up the emulator device because after I beat Crimson Desert, I was like, I could do anything. I can play anything. What I want to play.
Anything.
And I realized that I hadn't played the emulator in a really long time.
Mhm.
The Odin handheld had really become replaced by the Rogue Ally. But
Mhm.
they're two different machines with two different purposes. And like one plays old games, one plays new games. So I want to go back and play some old PS2 games. And the one that I had been wanting to play for a while is called a PS2 game called Front Mission 5 Scars of War.
Mhm.
And this, so I had played Front Mission 4 years ago when it came out on my PS2, and I really loved it. And I've always remembered how much I loved it. So I was excited to play Front Mission 5, only to realize that the reason I never got to play it and the reason I never saw it is because it was only released in Japan. So I was worried, oh shit, does that mean I'm going to start up this emulator and it's going to all be in Japanese? I'm not going to be able to play it? Turns out there is a fan translation, and the version of the emulator that I got happened to have a full fan translation. So all of the text is in English, all of the commands are in English, all of the subtitles are in English. The voice acting is still in Japanese, but everything else is in English and fully playable. And I've just been playing the hell out of the game. Um, and it reminds me that uh, what Front Mission 4 did really well, and that Front Mission 5 does, is it makes the turn-based tactics feel really cinematic. It does the thing that XCOM gets a lot of credit for. But Front Mission 5 was doing it first, where when you activate an attack, the camera kind of it's usually in the top down, looking down at all of the people, almost like you're playing a board game. But
Mhm.
when you activate an attack, when you do an ability, the camera zooms in down to the level of the characters and has a cinematic presentation of a character attacking, whether it's just them like shooting a gun, whether it's them shooting a rocket. It's just like a cinematic presentation of the attack. And that's just cool. It adds like a level of dynamic action to what you're watching. And yeah, when I was a kid watching Front Mission 4 do it and thinking, oh my God, it feels like I'm playing a mech movie, but I'm just, you know, playing one turn at a time. It's really cool. But what actually makes this game a good tactics game is something that I guess was actually only introduced in 4, and it's the link system. The way this system works is that some abilities that you have, maybe an arm, can link with your teammates so that if they attack or get attacked, you can then take a turn as well. So if my striker, who's got like a giant metal bat and is a melee focused mech, I can link their right arm with my assault gunner's left arm. And what that means is the weapon in his left arm and the weapon in her right arm will kind of activate depending on if they're attacked. So I can send my striker forward, have her bash someone, and if my assault gunner is in range, he'll automatically get an attack, but he'll only attack with a gun in his left hand. And so that kind of means you have to play around with the loadouts, thinking, okay, if my assault gunner is linked in his left hand, I might want to put a rifle in his left hand because that has more range than a shotgun. So that means he'll be able to take more turns because with the slightly expanded range, he'll be able to cover more distance. Or do I want to link it with my sniper, who always has everything in his left hand? And that whole link system really changes the way that you approach a fight because it's less about what can this one individual mech do to this other individual mech, and it becomes about positioning and, well, tactics. I'm going to send my whole attack squad forward. I'm going to surround an enemy mech and I'm going to attack with one person. And their one attack triggers 3 other attacks because everyone is linked. Then my next guy is going to get to go. That's going to trigger 3 more attacks. And my next guy's going to go. That's going to trigger 3 more attacks. And so through that, you can just really obliterate some enemies because every turn you're getting like an extra turn or 3 extra turns. But the enemy can also do the same thing to you. And so it's a lot about playing with positioning, preventing yourself from being surrounded. One of the harder levels that I encountered recently had the enemy, one of them had a bazooka, one of them had a sniper rifle, and they were both linked. And so every time one guy acted, the other guy got to act. And there were 4 of them all together. And they were dead set on killing my medic, who was behind all of my assault people. So my assault people were in front doing damage, but these fucking snipers kept going for my medic in the back line, and they kept being able to hit him because they had the range. And so I kept having to reload a save. One of the benefits of using an emulator is that you can save anytime, just save.
Hmm.
So I could save at the beginning of a turn, try things out, realize this doesn't work, then go back to reload the save, try something again. But the way that I got around that is I had to position someone in front of my medic who would just take the hit because they would keep going for the medic. But because of the way positioning works in the game, you can aim for someone behind someone else, and there's a chance you might hit them, but you could also just hit the person in front of them. So if you're going to do a reaction, someone attacks you, you automatically counterattack. But you have to pay attention to who's attacking you and where they're attacking you from, because if someone gets behind my buddy and then attacks me, if I counterattack, I'm just going to shoot my buddy because he's in between me and the other guy. So you kind of have to keep that positioning in mind. But you can also use that to your advantage by turning healthy mechs into literal human shields for the weak mechs. And that's what I ended up doing to protect my medic, is just put someone in front of him. She absorbs the damage long enough for him to survive one turn so that he can then heal himself and just fucking stay alive. But that whole link system adds an element of tactics that makes this game really unique because, like I said, it's not just about one mech doing damage. It's about how do I set up my characters so that one guy triggers another attack, triggers another attack, triggers another attack, and how can I turn one action into 5 actions over and over and over again?
Hmm.
Let's see. AC Ray says, funny how there's no bots. Oh, when I couldn't post on Blue Sky. That save system sounds like a good tool for Ring of Red. There's a permadeath mech game with foot soldiers backing them up. I've heard of that.
It's as opposed to the Red Ring of Death.
For PS2, I think I still have, but never got that far. You know what? I think I might have that on the emulator too. I'm gonna have to look this up.
Yeah.
Okay, Ring of Red. I'm gonna remember that.
And Killa 6013 says you can use controller too. You can use. Are you using a? Well, you're obviously doing this on an emulator, but I'm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the game came out on PS5, so it's
Right.
definitely meant for a controller. And I don't think it ever came out on PC because in the PS2 era, games like this just weren't coming out on PC.
Right.
Actually, I wonder, are there? No, I think I've looked. I think the only front mission game on Steam is like the third person action game that they tried to make during the 360 era. Except
Mm-hmm.
they have remade Front Missions 1, 2, and 3. And I believe those remakes are all on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
And those are all really good too. But honestly, I'm waiting for the remake of 4 because like I said, that's where the link system comes in, and that was the best.
Yeah. Again, one day I want to be loved by a man the way you are loved by that cat.
Oh yeah.
Just a badge. He loves his dad. All right. So enjoying that. Anything else? Any other games you want to review or talk about?
I guess I can talk about. I forget why
'Cause
exactly.
you're not around next week, so
That's true. I don't know why, but me and Rachel got a promo thing for 3 free months of Apple Arcade. I don't know if
nice.
that's because she got an iPhone recently, but by recently I mean like 3-4 months ago. But whatever. It was 3 free months of Apple Arcade, so I signed up for that because I wanted to see how it was going again. And I've been just testing out some Apple Arcade games, and man, it feels like not much has changed on Apple Arcade in the 6 years since I last picked it up. It's kind of got a lot of the same games.
Yep.
And there's just nothing really new on it.
Yeah, this is my problem with Apple Arcade. Sorry, buddy. This is my problem with Apple Arcade is that I purchased it because I'm like, okay, I'm, now way more mobile than I used to be. I'm going to pick up Apple Arcade and have some mobile games to talk about. And I got like 3 of them. And then I'm waiting for somebody to suggest to me another good game or Apple to suggest to me another good game. And it's just not. It's like farming sims and slot machines and it's Apple Arcade is junked up.
Well,
And
it's junked
it's not
up
junked
by
up for me. I should say it's junked up for a gamer like me. Now, it's not junked up for a gamer like, Mrs. Campbell down the road who loves Farmville. She's doing great. Me? This is not. And the thing is that there are good games out there that I played a lot of. Balatro. I played a lot of Balatro.
Balacho's on Arcade.
Right.
Yeah.
But I never found another game that felt like a quote unquote grown up game as opposed to way too grown up game, other than Balatro. And I was glad I bought it, glad I played it. Fantastic game.
Cult of the Lamb is on Apple Arcade.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, but now that I have my my Steam Deck that just goes with me everywhere now.
Yeah.
I don't really have a reason to be playing it on a phone.
Yeah. So the thing that it turns out Apple Arcade kind of turned into is it has a lot of the games on regular app store, but it pulls out all the microtransactions.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're looking for the typical app store like city builder game that normally asks you for, oh, you got to pay to recharge your energy. Apple, if you subscribe to Apple Arcade, you can play that game or something like it and just keep going. Like
I'm
it
listening.
turns out,
I'm just stepping away for a second.
Okay. It turns out what they did is Apple invested in making a lot of original games for Apple Arcade, and then those original games, I guess, just didn't do very well, so they stopped doing that. And now it's just, hey, here's a lot of the same games that you know, but with the microtransactions taken out. So you have Stardew Valley plus, you have Balloons TD plus, Temple Run plus, Rodeo Stampede plus, Snake IO plus. And the plus just means, yeah, we took out the microtransactions. But that's all to say. There are some good ones on here. There are some really cute, really good games. One of them that I remember is called What the Golf. It's a short, really, really cute, really, really funny uh, game that's just about playing golf, but every time, every level changes what the golf ball is. So one level, maybe it's a chair, one level, maybe it's a car, but you still control it like a golf ball. And they've made a whole bunch of spin-offs. So there's one called like What the Bat, one called What the Something Else, but it's like a whole series of just like really fun, pick up and play, clever mobile games. But the one I have been playing is this one called Stitch, just STITCH. And it's ostensibly a sewing game because it presents a picture and you kind of have to fill in the gaps of what that is based on the color. Uh, but in practice, what it ends up playing more like is a kind of twist on Sudoku. Or it's not necessarily Sudoku. There's another version of Sudoku that's a bit more math focused, kind of like that, but without the math. So basically, you're given a grid, and that grid will have various numbers in it: 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. And what that means is somewhere within that grid, there's a group of 4 blocks that you have to make. And there's a group of 2 blocks you have to make, a group of 6 blocks you have to make. And if they're different colors, the number will be a different color. And that kind of gives you a hint about what the shape of that is. So if you have 4, what that means is you could have a line of 4 blocks going straight across or straight up and down. Or you could have a cube, 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's 6, you can have a line of 6 going up and down, or you could have a group of 6 going across or going vertical. It changes. And so when you got to skip ahead 20 minutes or so, get to the more complicated shit. Yeah, like this. So you look at the 6 number, and because of how it's positioned, you kind of know, oh, that 6 is going to be 2 across and 3 down. That's how the 6 is shaped. And so you just kind of make a little stitch of those colors, and then you move on. And the puzzles are not particularly difficult, but they're satisfying. And so it's the kind of game where you just pick it up and you can just kind of blow through a level, just like, yeah, 2, 2, 2. I got this. And then you're hit with one that kind of makes you stop and think and wait, it's a 6 here, so I can't fit it. There's other numbers here, so I can't go that way. It has to go this way. But if it goes that way, it blocks these other numbers. How do I get the numbers to fit? How do I get the shapes to fit? And it triggers that part of the puzzle solving brain just enough to be satisfying. But it's also easy enough that, you can just kind of blow through a level very casually. So it's got that right level of difficulty of being easy, but not too easy.
Yeah, this guy's trying to figure it out.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this, and clearly that 5 has to go vertical because it can't go horizontal because there's a 3 in the way, and you can't make a cube out of 5. So that 5 has to go straight up. But he has a 4 in the way, as you can see. So he has to realize that he's got to erase that 4 block that he's made to make the 5 block go up. And he's not doing it because he's kind of an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Just watching someone have trouble solving a puzzle. There he goes. There he goes. He got rid of the 4. And see, you look at that 4 cannot go straight down because there's a 3 in the way. So that 4 clearly then has to become a cube. There we go. He got the cube. That 3 can then go straight down, the 2's go across, and the 6 takes up the empty space. So in that way, it's very Sudoku-like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you're going, oh, this has to be a 7, and so then this has to be a 2, and this has to be a 3. And by process of elimination, you can figure out what the numbers are. But instead of figuring out what the numbers are, you're kind of working with spatial distance in this game. So you're working with shapes rather than numbers. But the
Right.
numbers are there to define what the shapes are. What's the shape of the shape?
Right.
And yeah, this is it's a perfectly satisfying game to pick up, play for a little bit, and then put away.
Yeah. And it looks kind of fun. It looks like one of those games that I frequently need and want. Is just a noodler.
Yes, it is a noodler. It is absolutely a noodler.
That has to go vertical, that has to go vertical, horizontal, and that has to go vertical. Right.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I'm seeing it now.
And now, actually, now that I think about it, I am curious, is the game available outside?
Yeah, because I really don't want to pay for Apple Arcade just to play Stitch.
Yeah. No, I believe it is only available on Apple Arcade.
Ooh.
And whether it's worth that, I don't know. I
don't
have
know that that's worth $9 a month.
the thing that I'm most excited for from Apple Arcade is the game Fantasian, which
Mhm.
is one of the original games Apple funded early in Arcade's existence. There's a remake for consoles and PC called Fantasian Neo Dimension because they realized we didn't sell enough on mobile. So let's remake a version for consoles and PC. And I've wanted to play it, but hey, if I can play it as part of this free trial subscription, I may as well do that. So
Sure.
it's one that I've wanted to check out for a while, and now that I have the free arcade for 3 months, I want to take the opportunity.
Good call.
But that's the only other thing I've been playing, just like jumping through a bunch of different mobile games, kind of exploring Apple Arcade and realizing this hasn't really changed all that much. And I will get a lot out of the free 3 months, but I don't know if I'm gonna stay subscribed after that because this
Yeah.
doesn't seem like there's a lot of points.
So, breaking news, Ezio Helsing and I are now friends in Pokemon Go. I just accepted.
Nice. Oh, AC Wraith also said that Fantasian or Stitch is not on Android at all.
Wow. That's I
Hey,
guess
you sign with Apple.
must have Apple must have paid for that.
Yeah.
Um
Wait,
all
what
right,
was
so
that other
there's the
game he was
links to
talking
those
about?
two.
Ring of Red. Okay.
Yeah.
Ring of Red.
Not Red Ring of Death.
Well, there's
but Ring of
another
Red.
PS2 game called Ring of Rose. No,
Mhm.
Rule of Rose. That's like a survival horror game.
Yeah, I
And
remember
it's
that.
just it's the exact same acronym, not acronym, but the exact same initials, and it's messing with me.
Mhm.
Ring of Red. Yes. I do
So,
know that. Okay.
any other games we want to talk about before we hit the news?
No, that's it. There's a lot of stuff coming out, man. Oh, it's beginning. I think this next week, Mortal Shell 2 is
Mhm.
releasing, and that is the beginning of like the oh shit, the deluge has begun.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
Where
within a week or so we're
Yep,
going to start seeing a ton of games dropping
August
now.
August 20th is Mortal
End of
Shell 2.
August, all of September, most of October, and then it's going to be one game until
Yes.
December.
So like it's been interesting because like there's a new gameplay video for Control Resonant. There was
Mhm.
recently a lot of big previews for Onimusha, Fire Emblem, and fuck, what was the other game? the other big game that they did a preview of.
Don't remember.
I don't remember, but like uh you're seeing a lot of talk. Oh, Phantom Blade Zero put out like an
Right,
11-minute gameplay trailer with the
right.
state of play that's going to happen next week. So like
Mhm.
you're seeing all of the marketing start up for all of these games at the same time, and being like a month away just kind of reminded me like, oh yeah, we're getting to that point because all the marketing is starting to come up at the same time. It's like, oh fuck, that's
Yeah.
because you know what, I don't have a Switch 2, but all those previews of Fire Emblem's Fortune Weave, that game sounds like a fucking banger.
Mhm.
So I'm
Yeah.
excited for that. I was Star Wars Zero Company, XCOM Star Wars. I thought that's a good premise. I wasn't gonna buy it initially, but based on some of the trailers and previews, they describe a link system similar to what Front Mission does, and I thought, oh man,
Yeah.
that could be cool.
The
So it
the
turns out,
next the next couple of months is going to be very difficult to be a gamer because there's and this is the downside is that you know that November is going to be GTA month.
yeah,
But that means September and December are everything
in
else
October,
month and October.
um,
Everything else month.
yeah,
So you're
and
going to have just an absolute deluge of games coming in about 2 weeks that are
well,
all going to drop all at the same time.
it's also surprising because even the games that I weren't interested in are getting previews that are really positive. Oh,
Hmm.
you can close the door. Um, in a way that kind of elevates them that I wasn't thinking about them before, like Star Wars Galactic Racer.
Right, the Galactic Racer that I've been very much looking
I
forward to.
I hadn't been interested in that, but there was a preview that describes its story mode, which is really a roguelike mode, where you're given a vehicle, and as you do races, you can upgrade that vehicle. But if you total your vehicle, that's it. That's the end of your run, and you have to start all over again. But you can sell your vehicle for parts and use that to have a better starting vehicle. So the farther you get in each run means that you can start with a better vehicle because you can sell your totaled vehicle for more money. And as someone who doesn't like roguelikes generally, I kind of think that sounds like a fun premise for like a racing thing because it means that you're not just playing through a story mode, you know, in the same way that if you get really weird about it, every sports season is kind of a roguelike mode for a sports game, you know? Like
Hmm.
the brackets are all just a roguelike. A roguelike is kind of
Yeah,
simulating
it's elimination.
it's elimination. And so to have a roguelike mode in a sports game actually feels like a really natural thing. It just feels like a really natural combination of premise and content. And
And it
so
it's
to
it's
have a
it's
game execute on that really well, it's like, why has no one done this before?
right, right, agreed. And it treats this racing as sports, the
Yeah.
way that sports has always treated sports. And it is kind of weird that we haven't seen that before.
Hang on.
But I think that it's,
Close the door.
uh-oh, we've lost Nick. But I think it's also a function that when you're playing something that you have to build upon, that you're constantly improving your machine, improving your thing, the thought of losing it is terrifying. And I go back to the original uh, uh, the mech game that I love so much, permadeath mech game. The
Permadeath mech game. Oh,
that
Steel Battalion.
Steel Battalion was the ultimate of that, where
Mm-hmm.
you started back at zero. If you lost your mech, you started at zero. And any upgrades that you had, you really don't have anymore. And that's it. It's if you die, especially if your driver dies in the cockpit, it's over.
Well, then it
You have to
deletes your
start
fucking
all over.
save.
It deletes your save. That's it. It's over. So, kind of harkening back to those everything is in hard mode, the way that games used to be.
Yeah, yeah. AC Ray says we've had career modes. Granted, I haven't played enough to know how procedural they are.
Hmm.
That's the thing. I don't think the career modes in a lot of sports, at least the sports games I've played, which have always been the more arcadey sports modes. So like
Hmm.
NFL Blitz, NBA Street, those type of games. They weren't so much procedural as they were like, oh, you're gonna go up against this bot team, and then gonna go up against this bot team and this bot team. So there wasn't really a story to it. It was just like a series of progressively more difficult AI. Um, and yeah, so to kind of, I don't know, put a roguelike wrapper around that, that just seems clever. Is roguelike their fancy new term for career mode? Like, yes, but also
Yeah.
a roguelike career mode is significantly different than a regular career mode.
Hmm.
And
Right.
so, yeah, like the issue that I'm kind of finding myself into, which is a nice issue, all things considered, is that, oh, even these games that I wasn't initially interested in are getting a lot of good buzz that kind of makes me interested in them. There's too many good games.
Too
You
many good
know, it's a
games.
nice problem, but also I feel bad because some of these smaller games are just going to get absolutely looked over.
Right. And that's yours and my job to find the really good games that are getting looked over because everybody's going to be playing the big name games. There's going to get a lot of buzz, but it's just going to be the amount of noise coming from all of it is so overwhelming. So we'll be looking for it. We'll be
Yeah.
telling you about it right here. So if you're watching right now, hit the notification bell because we will be talking about the games that kind of slid under the radar. And by radar, I mean the bullhorns of the bigger games that are coming out now.
I will try to play as much as possible.
Yeah. All right. So can we hit the news now?
Yeah.
All right. Let's hit the news. This is the GameHounds news, the news, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with, oh, I almost forgot my own words. News, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with Gamer and Nick DiNicola. And our first item is.
Okay, so maybe it's just me, but I feel like earlier in the week there was a story about Asha Sharma visiting Bethesda, but I feel like the actual news story that dominated most of this week is the fucking CEO of Saber Interactive just
Mm-hmm.
going on a saga for the past couple days, bec trying to defend himself and then admitting to AI use. Okay, there was a long saga. So it all began when Saber Interactive revealed their new game called Rideshare Stimulator, which is kind of a take on Crazy Taxi, but with a bit more writing the from the people that you're driving. So instead of just being this arcade game where you need to get from point A to point B as fast as possible, you now have to get from point A to point B as fast as possible while listening to your writers just, you know, say funny, weird shit in the same way that GTA people in your taxi will say weird shit. Um, but Stella Sacco, Sacco, Sacco,
Mm-hmm.
Stella Sacco claimed that she was writing on the game before Saber replaced her with ChatGPT. She specifically said on Blue Sky, I was a lead writer on this one, and Saber replaced me with ChatGPT midway through development. And this isn't the first time that she'd mentioned that, because back in December of last year, she said she had been replaced by ChatGPT on an unnamed game. She also said that the decision to stuff rideshare with generative AI came from Saber, the publisher, not the game's developer, Unigen. Uh, a Saber Interactive PR rep denied the claim that said neither Saber nor Unigen have replaced any writers with AI for rideshare or any other game. The denial, though, from the PR rep says the game will also feature an experimental ride-free mode that by necessity incorporates AI as the number of passengers in the game is infinite. So No one was replaced by AI, but we did use some AI.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Uh, so from there, Sako said that Saber PR responded to my post by saying that the story was written by people and no writers were replaced, but also that the game uses AI generated text and voices. Come on, man. From there, the CEO of Saber Interactive, Matt Karch, Karch, Matt
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kark, uh, just went on a fucking rant. Has we have seen like very AI pilled CEOs often do. Um, we're talking to This Week in Video Games. He said, do, 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 uh, Sucker responded, oh, come on. Oh, Stella who? I had to ask Claude because I had never spoken to her or seen her. We have already said we're using AI for certain parts of the game, and we'll get an update on the Steam page once we finalize the feature set. Oh yeah, quick rewind. After the PR rep admitted, yeah, the game uses some AI, people were quick to point out there's no AI, disclaimer on Steam page.
Mm-hmm.
So what the fuck? Um, but Carl continued, AI is involved in certain parts of the game, and we'll update the Steam page once we finalize the feature set. Let me clarify that the entire story script, were it to win an award, would go to someone who can walk up on stage and receive it. It was always our intention to reveal this until Stella violated her confidentiality clause and revealed this before we were ready. We look to use our AI in this particular game, which will be a lower price title, has a plus for consumers. As far as Stella is concerned, she
Oh,
was
how
replaced by
nice of
someone
us, them.
she was replaced by someone far more talented and terminated for a variety of reasons a few months later. From what I can gather, she enjoys controversy even more than I do. I would frankly, in retrospect, have been happy to replace her with AI. At least we would be dealing with someone programmed to be honest.
Oh my God.
and and
Wow.
to her credit, her response to that was that statement is remarkably pathetic for the CEO of any company to be making. And combined with the AI use, it will do far more damage to Saber's reputation than it ever could mind. This screed will be many people's first exposure to the Saber brand.
Mm-hmm. She's
And
not wrong.
he then doubled down on it, uh, doubled down. There was a back and forth, a lot of people going like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Up until, let's see, August 15th was Saturday.
Yesterday.
So on Friday, apparently, he emailed Stella because Stella then said on Blue Sky, last night, to my great surprise, I received a long email from Saber Interactive CEO Matt Karch. He apologized unreservedly for the awful way he spoke about me in the press. The email's full text will stay between us. I've been from the beginning that I was telling the truth. I think we can all agree now that that's been borne out. He expressed his desire to make it right with me. I don't know what that looks like for now, but I'll take some time to sit with it. But basically, it seems like someone at PR went to the CEO and said, what the fuck are you doing? Shut up. Stop talking. And
And go
apologize.
apologize. Yeah.
And a lot of people have said that this very clearly feels forced. Someone had a gun to his head and said, just apologize. There
Mm-hmm.
has been no public statement from Saber or Matt about this. Maybe we'll see something on Monday when, the work week resumes. But other people have said any sort of apology, even if it's forced, is good.
It's
Take
better than
this
not.
as a minor victory, a minor win, that he at least recognizes he has done damage to his brand and to Saber Interactive's brand, and just take that little victory.
If you are a CEO of anything, never punch down.
Yeah.
Never punch down. It only makes you look bad. If if anything, he could have gotten somebody else at the company to punch across for him, but never, ever, ever go after an ex-employee who's a writer. It just makes you look like a bully.
It just and like there's no reason for it.
There's no
There's
reason
there's
for
no
it.
reason that you couldn't just say like I don't know her, but I don't know her, but I'm sure we left on fine terms. She wasn't replaced. Like there's a way. There's just a way to do it that isn't. I'm pretty sure she deserved to be replaced, and I'm happy she's
Yeah.
gone. But I don't know
Yeah.
her. I don't know
But I
her.
don't know her,
But
but I'm
yeah,
really glad she's gone because she's clearly a liar.
there's just a way to not be childish about it,
Yeah.
even if that way is flat out denying and lying. I don't know.
I don't know what's better. Would it have been better for him to flat out lie and deny everything? Oh, I
It's
mean,
hard to
that would be
say.
less litigious, possibly. I mean, when he's suggesting that she's lying, that she is not talented, not qualified, and is lying, those are arguably pretty slanderous
I
things
don't
to
know if
say.
is it better for CEOs to open their mouths and reveal to the world that they're really not that clever or smart, even if they're in a position of power? Or is it better for them to just stop talking and keep the illusion going?
Right.
I
Stop
don't know what you
talking and
do.
stick to the talking points. Stick
Do
to the talking
it's the
points.
fucking Matrix. It's
Mhm.
Cypher in the Matrix. Do I
Yeah.
want to eat this steak and know this steak tastes good? I know it's a lie, but it's at least a good lie.
Mhm.
Do I want to be Cypher in the Matrix, or do I want to know that yes, I'm surrounded by authority figures who are just deeply fucking embarrassing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and they have since updated the Steam page with an AI disclaimer for Right Share
mhm.
Stimulator.
And the argument is if Stella hadn't said anything, would they have updated the Steam page? Arguably, they
Probably
probably
not.
wouldn't.
And yeah,
And
so when she was
that's what it ends up looking like is that ultimately by him going on that rant, well, by her disclosing it, but by him going on that rant the way that he did, all it looks like is him being slimy.
yes.
Whereas if he had just said something along the lines of, Stella was a talented writer. We would love to have had her to keep her on. Unfortunately, we couldn't. We've certainly are hoping that Stella lands on her feet, and we're doing all that we can to help everybody who's lost jobs with us to find new employment. And more to her credit, she pointed out something that was an oversight on our part and that we had not updated the Steam page, which we are doing now. Thank you, Stella.
So I think the reason he didn't do that is because, as AC Wraith says here, her direct boss was on her side when she was fired, but a higher executive claimed gamers like new tech. That
Mm-hmm.
some of the details that have come out is that Matt Koch really pushed to replace the writers because gamers like new technology.
Right.
So this is very much
His
someone
baby.
criticizing his decision
Yeah.
and the internet agreeing with her on that criticism of his decision. So the reason he's taking it personally is because this was his personal decision.
This was his baby.
And when it turns out that, oh, this person who thinks they're creative but is then being faced with the realization that they're not creative and that their creative decisions suck, they respond angrily.
Mm-hmm. And now, talk about snatching a loss from the jaws of victory. If Saber had just kept their mouths shut, done the right thing, if Matt Karsh had acted like a real CEO instead of a tech bro who's running a company and checked in with his PR people that he'd actually probably should have before he opened his big fat yapper. Is it so bad that in a mode in the game that is infinite, that they would have some generative AI use to have an unlimited and infinite number of different passengers.
I mean, like, just in theory, yes, because I'm sure that the AI generated text is just going to be less good
Right.
than anything else. Um, it's just a question of quality over quantity,
Mm-hmm.
and clearly they're going with quantity of AI over the quality of a script because you can very easily write a script that is just procedural, right?
Mm-hmm.
You write dialogue for 50 passengers and you just kind of let the game mix and match. Maybe there's 50 passengers that are randomly created, or maybe you just create a bunch of dialogue that it can then procedurally insert. So like they'll say one thing one time and one thing another time, and you can use that to create some truly unhinged passengers. But
Mm-hmm.
that's complicated. That takes a little bit of extra effort in
Work.
designing. Or you can just say, AI, make up stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm curious about
Yeah.
is that game comes out, has an infinite mode where AI, generative AI, is used to constantly create conversations. In theory, if I play that game for 100 hours on that mode specifically,
Mm-hmm.
who's paying for that?
Mm.
How long do I have to play this game?
To
And
make them lose money.
how much generative text do I have to generate for Saber AI Interactive to cut me off and go, you are costing us too much money because you keep playing this infinite mode that is using the generative AI to create a voice and create text. Um, and you know, you've been playing this one mode and costing us millions of dollars in tokens. Stop
Yeah.
it.
I guess you could use generative AI to play that game infinitely, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for as long as it takes for them to shut the game down.
So AC Wraith does bring up a good point that LLMs can be local. I don't think they're using local. They're like Stella said, they're just using ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
But I could use a local LLM to play the game and cost them money.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm, I like this idea. I like this idea. I'm
Yeah, there's an interesting project to be had of creating games that use generative AI in this way, because this is obviously not the only game that's going to be doing this and is doing it right now, to see how much money we can make these companies lose.
it's something that Stephen Totillo wrote about like several months ago when he was
Mm-hmm.
talking about this one admittedly clever concept for a game that used an LLM where
Mm-hmm.
you play as a vampire who goes to someone's house at night, knocks on the door. You have to convince them to let you in because
Mm-hmm.
you're a vampire, and all of you're talking to an LLM. And that indie developer's solution was, well, we're basically going to give you like X number of dollars worth of tokens. And we think that that will come out to about 8 hours worth of gameplay. And like by that time, people have probably gotten their fill. If it goes beyond that, like we're not really sure what, but we basically kind of given you 8 hours worth of gameplay and we'll see from there. And that
Mm-hmm.
seemed like that's an interesting approach. Uh, but Totillo like brought up that hey, in the era we live in of brigading and mass negative Steam reviews, what's to stop a group of people from buying the next Assassin's Creed game with LLM elements in it just for the sole purpose of abusing the LLM elements to cost Ubisoft money? You absolutely could imagine people doing that.
There's a murder investigation game that does the same thing where there's a murder and you have to, in real language, using speech, ask witnesses questions and go from person to person asking them questions, and the person responding, I'm air quoting
Mm-hmm.
person responding, is an LLM, is AI.
Mm-hmm.
And they know certain things, and you kind of have to convince them however you can to get them to tell you the information you need in order to solve the crime. So it's a bit like oh, what was that Team Bondi game that I like so
Oh,
much?
L.A.
LA
Noir.
Noir. Yeah. A bit
Yeah.
like LA Noir, but you're more asking questions, and you can ask it with a headset actual questions and talk to this LLM, to talk to this AI, and get engage them in conversation so that you can get the information you need. You could easily hook up an AI to do that for you.
Yeah.
And to just, going back to one of my favorite projects, God, one of the funniest things I've ever seen on the internet is when they when the Google bots, the Google came out with their little Google talking thing. They're I don't want to say the A word because that will
Oh,
light up everything in the
yeah.
house.
Alexa.
Yes.
Google Home.
Yeah, yes. And they set two of them next to each other and gave them different names, one a man and one a woman, and then and then put a camera in front of it and let that camera run 24/7, and they had conversations with each other that were fucking unhinged. And it went on. I think they did it for an entire weekend. It was no end of hilarity of the conversations that those two would get into. Sometimes they were, not quite talking to each other, or they'd lose the threads on each other, but every once in a while they'd catch a thread and they'd have this conversation with each other, and it was unhinged in the most amazing ways. Certainly when they got to something about, do you like me? Once one of them said either do you like me, or I don't love you, or I don't like you very much, then they would get into this, do you love me? Yes, I love you. No, I don't. It was just it was the um it was the soap opera from a completely twisted universe, and I couldn't get enough of it. I watched that thing almost constantly the entire weekend because it was so compelling.
Yeah. There's
Same thing.
okay. I wanna.
You could get the AI into that kind of loop where they're just talking to each other and never disengaging,
Yeah.
and just run them out of money.
Oh yeah. Ezio says, press X to doubt. He also
Yeah.
said, what is an LLM? Because we've been saying
Large
that a
language
lot.
model.
Large language model, specifically, it's what ChatGPT is. It's what Claude is. When we talk about Gen AI is driven by a large language model. Large language model is the specific type of technology that is driving generative AI. So, like,
Eh,
because AI is a broad term, and generative AI really just means AI that creates shit. But a Gen AI LLM is an AI that creates shit driven by a large language model, and an LLM is basically the technology that's driving
It's
the whole AI boom at the
it's
moment.
the database, so to speak, of what a generative AI is that it is just
It's what's filling all the data
lots and
centers.
lots of language. It is essentially everything written on the internet, plus every book that you can think of, and just piled into this database that the AI uses to draw its information from, not only in the information that it can give you, but also in how to use language, how to quote unquote be human.
And then AC Wraith says, talking about rideshare stimulator, they're all multiplayer modes. So maybe they're doubling down on the server usage.
Hmm. Maybe.
Maybe. But yeah. That's all to say.
And that sucks
Rideshare
because
Simulator
Rideshare Simulator
is
actually
now known as that game.
that game. And that's a shame because I didn't know about it previous to all of this happening. And when I heard about it, I'm like, I would totally play that. I would totally sit down at night
You
and
would until you see the trailer and
yeah,
you're like, is there are, the, are those voices AI too, or is that just bad
yeah,
acting?
yeah.
Like what? Because I saw a trailer for it and it's like, okay, in the hands of like good writers, this could be really funny, but I
It
don't
reminds
think
me in a way of listening to Laszlo on GTA, the radio station on GTA, that they were so hilarious and unhinged that you would
yes.
just play that for hours, even though you were hearing the
Yes.
same thing over and over again, because it was so fucking funny.
I think they want to be Grand Theft Auto, um, but they are not Grand Theft Auto.
hmm Vice City Radio is the best radio ever. But now, I wonder if the radio in GTA is real radio or if it is an LLM, if it is AI. Because it would be such a shame because then you
No,
can never
it
hear that thing that was so damn funny the first time.
it won't. It won't. I guarantee
Yeah,
you that it
I
won't.
hope not.
Also, my prediction, there's not going to be any radio in Grand Theft Auto 6.
It would be
Instead,
so sad.
there's just going to be a bunch of podcasts.
Podcasts.
It's all going to be podcasts.
That's fine. That's fine.
There's
I'm
still going to
okay
be
with that.
there's still going to be stuff to listen to. I'm just saying I think that there's not going to be a radio. There's just
And
going to be podcasts.
I think that it would be great if it was a curated podcast like syndication service where you could actually the only place that you could hear certain podcasts and they're real podcasts that they're having podcasters do every week is to actually play Grand Theft Auto and then you get a new podcast every 3 or 4 days from that podcaster.
Mm.
And it potentially becomes its
Its
own
own
Apple
platform?
Podcasts, its own
Yeah,
podcast platform.
I don't know. I feel like that's trending too close to reality of like I don't know if I don't want to listen to a real podcast in the world of GTA. I want to listen to
If it was a crazy and unhinged the way that Vice City Radio was, I would
that's
absolutely listen to those.
that's just real. That's just reality now.
I
You
know
listen to
it's not.
you're gonna listen to NPR and go, wait, am I on the GTA podcast or am I on the actual podcast?
Yeah,
What is
but
going on?
it would be parody. So it would be an NPR parody podcast.
Today the president of the United States snuck out of Air Force One on a uh cart tray to
Yeah,
sneak
yeah,
onto
a
another
catering
plane and
cart,
fly
a
away. I got
catering,
snuck
and
away on a catering cart.
he and Pete Hegseth. It's
Yeah,
it's
snuck away on a catering cart. It's like, wait, what the fuck?
is that real or is that fake? Oh wait, it's real. Um, and I'm thinking like one of my favorite podcasts is Stuff You Should Know. But Stuff You Should Know, but it's all fake stuff. Just completely
Huh.
ludicrous, insane stuff. Like the, what was it, Australian American War,
Oh
which
yeah.
was, remember that from Grand
Yep.
Theft?
Yeah, that was a whole thing about that.
Or the veterinary podcast with
Multiversal
the,
radio. We make
yeah.
sense somewhere. I like that. That's good.
We should be working for Rockstar. We totally should. You and I should both be the executive directors of content on
Yes.
for
Yes.
for GTA Radio, GTA podcasts. Goalie would make an amazing show on that.
Oh, he would.
Oh,
He would.
oh God, would Goalie be good on that? Rockstar.
Okay.
My digits are down there.
Um,
Contact me anytime. Happy to help.
that's it. Yeah. Okay. So that's all
All
I
right.
had for my first story.
All right, my first story then. You didn't talk. I guess your second story will be the rat, right?
I get to, unless you want to talk about the rat.
No. You talk about the rat in the next one. I'll talk about something else.
Okay.
Roblox is under scrutiny again. Yay, what a freaking surprise. The game that was never a great idea to let your kids play in the first place, but somehow everybody let their kids play it, and now they're worth more money than God. And guess what? They're not as safe as they would let you believe.
Wait,
They
are
are under
you?
scrutiny.
For me, you're kind of like sparking, like static. Is anyone else getting that?
Am I staticky for you
Was that
guys?
just because I made the mistake of browsing the internet while
It's probably you. It's probably you.
okay. I was
So,
opening tabs. So, okay, go on.
your fault. Roblox is being looked at again regarding child safety on its platform. The Senate Judiciary Subcommittee on Crime and Counterterrorism is opening up a bipartisan investigation into the platform this week. They announced that.
Hmm.
So, Senator Josh Hawley, Republican from Missouri, and Dick Durbin, Democrat from Illinois, they sent a letter to Roblox CEO David Baszucki, whatever, David. They said that, quote, the letter reads, they sent this letter to him, the letter reads in part, you trumpet Roblox as a safe digital playground for children as young as 5, but the public record raises serious questions about the promise of safety. Over the past decade, police have arrested numerous individuals for committing serious acts of violence and harm against children they met via Roblox, including grooming, abuse, kidnapping, R word, and even the M word. Roblox is being used to trade child abuse material, participate in explicit and often violent virtual experiences with children, bribe, extort children into producing explicit content, and lure children into in-person meetings. It is heartbreaking. In 2025, Roblox reported 65,381 instances of suspected child exploitation to the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children, more than double what it reported in 2024. The letter did go on to say that Roblox appears to prioritize revenue and engagement metrics over the safety and well-being of our children, and the alleged criminal activity on Roblox warrants congressional scrutiny. It has, in this letter, they said that Roblox need to preserve all records related to exploitation of the kids and abuse, and also to required to answer a series of questions and produce certain documents as requested by the committee by August 31st. So it looks like, I mean, Roblox has faced scrutiny in the past. It has been questioned, obviously, many, many times in the past. There's been news multiple times a year for the last 6 years due to reports and accusations that their platform was being used to harm children. And this went from financial exploitation through their microtransaction and their Robux system, um, and all the way back to exploitation of an S nature, as was detailed in depth by Bloomberg itself in 2024. So this is not anything new, but this very much is sounding like the federal government is starting to take notice that despite all of the words that Roblox says about we're making it safe for children, this is a safe place for children, the numbers of reports of exploited children reported to the government's own Center for Exploited Children, where they cite Roblox, has doubled in the last year.
Huh.
Because, like I said, it was that the number where Roblox was reported, 65,381 instances reported to the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. That's more than double what it was reported of mention of Roblox being a part of this in 2024. So I guess 2 years, I guess technically. Although I don't know if they have the numbers for this year complete. So I'm assuming that they're talking about 2025. So Roblox, I mean, I don't want to like assume that this is going to go anywhere because it may or may not. A lot of times these things peter out, especially in the face of vast amounts of wealth, which Roblox has. But this does seem to be the
Well,
most
less wealth
serious of any
now.
of the other reports, any of the other situations where this has been talked about, considering, we're talking about people make games reported issues back in 2021, Bloomberg in 2024. Now is the Senate Judiciary Committees. And this is a little more serious than those. They have a little more teeth.
And this is coming, remember, from last week when Roblox implemented new algorithms to stop the spread of exploitation, and that affected the virality of games, and then they missed a stock target and their stock tanked. So they have less of that financial power now. And AC
Slightly
Wraith put out a
less.
story too that New York school security guard sentenced to 30 years for sexually exploiting a Michigan child he met on Roblox.
Mm-hmm.
So as more of those stories come out, I think that increases the pressure on Roblox.
It's been hiding in plain sight. It is the worst kept secret in all of, dare I say, all of technology. And
It's not just Roblox,
I
it's like
can't,
YouTube as well. YouTube Kids is
yeah.
just like a slop service.
Mm-hmm.
And like, look, kids are so stupid. And they will watch anything, they'll play anything. They're so easily manipulatable that they're the perfect like consumer for products. And so it's so easy to exploit them. And
Yep.
yeah, I think what we're seeing now is from how old is Roblox? When did Roblox first start?
God, it's got to be at least 10 years.
Yeah. Roblox online game platform released on September 1st, 2006.
So, God, it's 20 years old.
20 years is how
Oh.
long it takes for laws to start taking notice of online infrastructure. So
20 years of just blatant.
20 years.
And that's the thing. It's not just like it's been like, in the underground. Maybe it's happening, maybe it's not. No, blatant,
Yes.
known about this and
So,
been a
like,
problem.
So
And they haven't been able to fix it in 20 years.
like
Because they don't want to fix it. They
so
make
like
money on it.
AI regulation, not until let's say 2045 is when we will get AI regulations.
Maybe. I don't know.
20 years.
This seems pretty bad. Now, keep in mind, it is not a coincidence.
Yeah, especially when you can buy children's accounts.
Right. It's not a coincidence that this is happening in August, right before a November midterm election, when I believe Holly is up for, and both. When is Holly up?
Where's this Josh Hawley, the guy.
Josh Hawley, who's the Republican from Missouri. Let's see. He's good till 2030.
Okay, so he doesn't have
fine.
to be this.
And then Dick Durbin, but he's probably doing it. But other Republicans who are looking to be reelected in November are probably signing on as well. And then Durbin, he's in 2027. His term ends January
he's talking
2027.
Yeah. When did that happen? Anyway, sorry.
What?
AC Wraith said to Ezio, "Congrats, you've joined Chaos and being misnamed." And being misnamed to me. When did we? Oh, when I said that, did I call AC Wraith
Oh,
when I
probably.
put that up? I
Probably.
wasn't thinking.
Yeah, sorry. Everybody's AC Wraith in this chat room.
Yes.
Who
So
the
yeah.
real AC Wraith, please stand up. I'm standing up.
So yeah, it's kind of surprising that Roblox has like gone this long without these type
Yeah.
of things, because the whole think of the children has always been such a strong political, I don't know,
Especially with
factor, motivator.
one of the parties, one of the two parties has been a huge, for God's sakes, think of the children.
Yeah, and so it's kind of surprising that that has fallen by the wayside so much.
Mm-hmm. They seem to have forgotten about the children for the last few years. But Itzio says, "Thank you, AC. I feel so welcome. But where are the cookies? No cookies. Sorry, the cookies are a lie.
No, we're
So is the
sending you
cake.
some of those like triple stuffed Oreos from the Would You Eat This channel.
Yeah, you're the one with all the good cookies, dude. You should be sending them to us."
Oh, where was it?
So,
Would you eat this? There was like a giant Oreo. Yeah, deep fried Oreo, chicken and waffle Oreo. Yeah, that's the one that I
oh,
wanted. Oh, I
oh,
want that. I want that.
oh, that sounds
That
disgusting.
sounds good.
Oh, no, it does not.
Chicken and
Chicken
waffle.
and waffle Oreo?
Yeah, okay,
Oh,
yeah.
that actually physically makes me ill to even think about.
You
Oh,
can vote for
no.
a deep fried Oreo, chicken and waffle, or banana pudding.
Oh, banana pudding.
AC says I have some crumbly oatmeal cookies in the microwave, but already told my housemate they could have the rest. And Ezio
Oh.
says Oreos have apple pie ones that are out.
Oh,
Apple
yeah.
pie Oreos would be good.
Apple pie Oreos would be all right.
Yeah.
Remember back in the
Anyways,
day when our snack foods were just the snack food flavored? Oreos were just chocolate and that cream center, and that's it. You had that, and you have double stuff, and that was it.
yeah, and you know what? Life sucked. I
Potato
like
chips
the
were
I like the Oreo.
potato
No,
chip. They
I will.
were
Nope.
barbecue, sour cream, and plain. That was it.
I will always take a crazy potato chip flavor. Give me loaded baked potato, give me garlic and herbs, give me what's the Lay's one I saw the other day? Um grilled cheese.
Oh
Yeah, grilled
no.
cheese flavored potato chips. Oh, it was good. It was
Oh
good.
no, no, no.
There's Korean barbecue, then there's American barbecue, then there's Texas barbecue, then there's spicy barbecue.
If you get Kansas City barbecue, then I'm on board because that's mine. It's
Okay.
Kansas City is my jam.
Kansas City. I will keep a lookout for that next time I'm browsing the chip shelves.
Mm-hmm. Kansas City barbecues.
Look, as the world burns, our chip flavoring technology grows. And we have more and
Favorite
more
comment.
elaborate chips.
Favorite comment of the show so far. AC Wraith with banana pudding sounds like basic bitch cookies for toddlers, to be honest. Yeah. And I am a basic bitch toddler. Happy to admit it.
Okay, so naturally we went from exploiting children to talking about cookies.
Of course. Girl Scouts.
Mm.
Anyway,
anyways,
moving right along.
You know who else likes cookies?
Hmm.
Rats.
Nice. I like that one. Good one.
So earlier this week, Asha Sharma visited Bethesda to get a hands-on demo of Elder Scrolls 6. And a lot of the news stories, well, some of the news stories were about, hey, she tweeted out, like, I just got a demo of, quote, live playthrough of the Elder Scrolls 6 because they don't want to say what the name of it is. This morning, the scale and grandeur are incredible. The story is even greater. First of all, that's all bullshit. Because Asha Sharma probably never played Skyrim. She also never played Morrowind. God, are you kidding me?
Loser.
But that very clearly reads like a CEO who sees a product and is like, yeah, this product is awesome. This is so good. The same way that Phil Spencer was like, I played Starfield and Starfield's so fucking awesome.
The
It's going to be
same way
great.
that George W.
And
Bush used to be so impressed with supermarket scanners. It's amazing.
mm, and like maybe it's coming from a genuine place. But I don't know. It just reads very generic as like, oh, the story is the scope and grandeur are incredible. But because the boss of Xbox was going to Bethesda, the place hit like really hard with
Hmm.
layoffs where ex-employees are going on, not ex-employees, current employees are going on podcasts saying Xbox doesn't understand art, doesn't understand video games. Since they knew that the boss of Xbox was going to be there, a lot of unionized employees put out a giant inflatable rat in front of the company so that she would have to see it. And they put red flags in the lawn and around the cubicles, like hundreds of red flags, each one representing a laid off
1600.
employee. Yes.
1600 red flags, each one representing an employee that she just, actually more than that. Was it, how many jobs was it? I think they concluded the previous job cuts as well.
It was 1600 across Xbox. I don't remember how Bethesda as a whole was hit hard by a lot of those. I don't know exactly the number of
Hmm.
that was affected Bethesda. But the point is, things are not good at Bethesda. Lot of unruly employees, a lot of people upset. And so when they heard that their boss was coming, they put out a giant inflatable rat and a bunch of red flags. And naturally, no one at Xbox mentions that. Asha
Mm-mm.
Sharma doesn't mention any of that in the tweet.
Mm-mm.
Um, but yeah, it's just another look at what I feel like is this is only going to grow going forward, right? This level of employee discontent, that's like, okay, best case, maybe Asha and her team takes the knowledge away that the next round of 1600 layoffs that we know are coming are done a little differently, because clearly the way they executed it here has led to like really, like I said, employee discontent on a level that I don't think Xbox has encountered in a while. Certainly that I don't think Bethesda has encountered ever in the history of that company. And
Mm-mm.
like that's not a good thing to evoke. You don't want your employees angry at your company. That's
Mm-hmm.
just not a viable solution, especially for a CEO that's looking to turn the company around long term. You don't want you can't turn your company around for the long term by burning bridges with people that are actively working there.
Right.
Um,
And
so
I
yeah,
don't think
and
that
I don't.
the rat outside wasn't the problem. And the
Mhm.
flags planted outside the building, and
Yeah,
the flags planted outside the building isn't her problem. And I hope she recognizes that, because those could be their, Bethesda is unionized. Those could be members of the
some of
union,
Bethesda.
stand right, but
I mean, it was
standing
all
up. It
union
was
members.
union, but those were people that could arguably, say that those were outside the company. They weren't inside. These are people that were laid off. They're unhappy. Of course, they're unhappy they were laid off. The thing that concerning and should concern her were the employees inside who put red flags in their cubicles.
Oh
Those are the
no, even the
actual
rat.
active employees who were inside the company that day and did not care, are
I think it's
so angry that they're willing to put it in their cubicle and put their face on this protest.
yeah.
That goes from being a protest to a rebellion.
It also is worth saying that the rat and the flags outside were not put there by ex-employees who were
No.
just angry at this. They were put there by current unionized employees at Bethesda. So this is all the work of current employership,
Right,
which
right,
is like the big problem because yeah, you can't turn a business around if you're turning the business against you.
right. But it's easy to dismiss a protest going on outside in the front of your business.
Oh, yes.
It
Yeah,
happens
it
all the
is.
time. It's very much more difficult to dismiss individual employees putting on their cubicles when your CEO is visiting that they are not happy. And like I said, that's the difference between you know, unhappy people on shore and a mutiny on the ship. And right now, it is arguable that Bethesda is in full mutiny.
I don't think mutiny quite yet, but they're definitely like the closer there than they have
Mm-hmm.
before.
Yeah.
Um, once we see Todd hanging by his neck from the rat's hands, then we know you got a problem.
Well, I don't know that they will ever. I don't think that they actually blame Bethesda. The employees, I don't think blame Bethesda because
No, I
I don't
think
think I blame Bethesda because Bethesda wouldn't have fired them if all things were being
yeah,
equal.
right. It's
It was
all
Microsoft
it's
that forced them to
Xbox.
fire. It's
Yeah.
Xbox that
No,
forced
I
that hand.
think you're right. I think there's probably some level of like I don't know how high you have to go in Bethesda to find someone that's upset, but yeah, I think people blame Xbox. I mean,
Hmm.
the employee who went on the podcast was specifically talking about Xbox doesn't understand art. Like, I think you can take that as um, generally like where's the anger pointed, and you're right that it's not pointed at Bethesda executives; it's pointed at Xbox executives.
Hmm. And that's where it should be because Xbox was the one that made the order of fire people. So it's a that's why I say that this is closer to a mutiny than it is to a revolt. Even if it was, it may just be employees at Bethesda. But I think that the executives at Bethesda are probably, regardless of what they actually think in their heads, know better. And if they're going to throw their allegiance down to between Xbox and employees, yeah, Xbox sucks. We got to work with these employees. We may, sort of want to suck up to Asha, but let's face it, we have to go into work on Monday. We have to side with the employees. They're going to split the middle and say, well, where were the employees? We never would have, I'm sure that's what they've already said. We never would have fired you, but we have orders from Xbox.
Hmm.
Now, how much of that is true? Probably more true than probably actually quite true. I don't think Bethesda wanted to fire all those people.
No,
They wouldn't have. If all things were being equal, they wouldn't have fired all those people. They probably wouldn't have made the cuts the way that even they made the cuts. They just had to make them that way because of the edict that came down from Asha.
yeah,
So, yeah, I think hopefully she's recognizing this is not just a bunch of crazies out in the parking lot. The call is coming from inside the house.
yeah.
We'll see if I don't know that it can make any change. I don't know that it can make any change at this point because ultimately Asha's the one taking the hit for it, but it's not even Asha that's making that call. You and I both know that.
Oh yeah, it's Sad Nutella.
It's Ab Nutella is making that
Yeah,
call. So he's just told her, you need to cut. And she's just making these cuts. Now, is she without blame? No, because I am sure that as part of her getting that job, she sold Sad Nutella on we can replace these people with AI
I also
because
wonder
she's an AI bitch.
how much of this is just like she's kind of a new CEO, right? She
Mm-hmm.
hasn't been in charge of like a something as big as Xbox before.
No.
She's been
And
an executive in positions of authority, but like to have your every decision kind of micromanaged by a fan base, that's a new position for her.
mm-hmm. Yeah, video games
Now,
are unique in that way, in that the consumers are uniquely vocal
it's like sports, right?
and
Where the owner of a sports
interested.
team is under the same microscope as the players.
Mm-hmm.
And the CEO of a game company is under the same microscope as the developers. Saber Interactive proves this.
Yeah, you actually, that's a really good analogy. Is that video games are more like a sports team, like running a sports team, than they are like running a corporation.
Yeah, because no one
Any other
talks
widget.
about. I guess people talk about the CEO of Warner Brothers, but only because he's trying to sell Warner Brothers. But like, people don't talk about the CEO of Lionsgate. And
Mm-mm.
yeah, Bill Lyon is when he took over from Joe Gate, and the Lionsgate's output really dropped. It's like, no
Mm-hmm.
one's talking about that.
Mm-mm. No. And they're not willing to call up and say, screw you guys, I hate you, I'm going to your competitor, like in the droves
I mean,
that,
sometimes they do, because I know that Universal's decision to put Tenant on Peacock made Christopher Nolan go to Paramount to make the Odyssey. I forget what, but like there was some level of like studio drama, but you don't see
yeah,
it a lot. That's what made that situation unique. Of like, oh man, they skipped a theater and that really pissed off Nolan. But like
right.
that doesn't happen that often.
That pissed off Nolan. We didn't
Nolan is
piss
the
off.
story,
It didn't
not the
piss off
CEOs.
right, exactly. It's not the consumers, the actual consumers that are so,
Yeah, yeah.
like really activist and care about the details like that. And they do in video games. So it is more like a sports team in that if you do something to piss off the crowd will turn on you.
Yeah.
You don't have this problem with like video cards. If something
Yeah. A
Nvidia
movie?
does is offensive and awful, everybody doesn't go and go, fuck you, we're going to AMD. No, they're not going to do that. This is unlike any other consumer product in that with the exception of sports teams, the consumers are activists, all of them.
It's
They
a weird mix
care
of
on a real visceral
yeah.
level.
It's a weird mix of like movies and sports.
Mhm. Yeah. I hope she didn't expect this to be easy. I hope she's getting a lot of money because she's going to need the compensation because from what I can tell, they're going to eat her alive and they're going to continue to eat her alive. And it's
Oh
not going to
yeah,
go
and
away. It's not, she is never going, after this whole new entrance into games, she will never be a friend of the consumer, of these activist fans.
it
She's never going to be their friend. She's always
depends if
going
she
to
can
be the
turn
bad
around the
guy.
ship. It depends if she can turn around. I don't I think the issues facing Xbox are much
She
larger
doesn't
than
have,
that. But I think if she can make Xbox into a big global brand like PlayStation is now, people will absolutely forget about this. Or they'll be like,
sh-
yeah, that sucked, but it was necessary. I think that people really would the narrative would change.
yeah, to use a Ted Lasso word, she will always be the wanker. She will always be the wanker. And I don't think a lot of people are there's just too much blood. This is too messy. This is too ugly. This is too uh, mistimed and badly done and cruel and heartless in a lot of ways. And she is too naive and she doesn't have the skills for this. She can't turn this company around. She can make
Mm,
this company make money, but she's not going to be able to turn the gaming around to make it a good game company. You can be a very
that could be.
profitable,
Yeah.
very bad game company. And that's
Yeah.
what she's about to do.
Just look at EA now.
Exactly.
Um Yeah, and I don't have a banner for this, changing topics, but it was
Hmm.
interesting reading the US hired
Yes, I
2,000
saw
gamers
that.
to be air traffic controllers.
I saw that. That is the most amount of new hires, new candidates that they've had in ever in the
Yeah.
history of the FAA because they started to appeal to gamers. And they went out and said, hey, do you want to use your gaming skills and make money, a lot of money? Become an air traffic controller. And they got 2,000 new gamers to be air traffic controllers, which is great because air traffic control, A, very difficult, B, not enough and haven't been enough for at least a decade. And I mean, a lot of air traffic controllers are old and they're burnt out because they can't leave because there's no one else to take over for them. And they know that because they also care and they understand the importance of them. And if they fall beneath a certain level, there's going to be midair crashes. There's going to be more crashes. And people in the airline industry care because they know what they're working with and they're very aware of the damage that can happen by mistakes. So
Yeah.
good. I
So that was
think that
good. It was good to see.
this has been something they've needed to do for years.
Unfortunately, most of them seem to have come from the Kerbal Space Program.
Second best comment. Now it's right up there. I'll put this as a tie for first place on favorite comment. Forget your life, well done.
That's a really good point of like, wait a minute.
Which video game?
Wait, yes. That's good. AC Wraith says, next time play a Castle Rat song for every laid off employee. Chant all is forever when they get hired somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know Castle Rat.
I don't know Castle Rat either, but I like the idea of noting everybody that's losing jobs. Speaking of people losing jobs,
Fortnite was the official reason.
Speaking of people losing jobs, God, I hate that when we talk about layoffs, we don't have to worry about segues because there's always another layoff story right afterwards. Netflix announced this week that it was closing Night School Studios and Moonloot. And you may know Night School Studios, they are the developers of Oxenfree.
Oxenfree, but also they developed Unhinged. That was the 40-minute choose your own adventure Netflix show that you watch on a TV but play with your phone that I never got around to playing.
I never got around to playing it either because you couldn't play it on an LG TV.
Wait, you have to be, you can. Because I have an LG, but I open Netflix and I can play it.
On our LG, we couldn't get to Netflix games. There's no Netflix games on LG TV app.
No, you don't do it as a game. You have to search for Unhinged and it appears as like a video. But when I went
to Google, it said I had to go through and find it on the app. But that the app, you had to do it through the app through Netflix games.
I did the same thing where I'm like, why can't I find Unhinged on the app on my phone? Because it's not on your phone. It's only on TVs.
Okay. All right. Well, is it gone?
But I don't think it's gone. Not yet, at least. Like, who knows? Good. Who knows how long it will last? But yeah, like they just fucking put out a game.
Yeah. So they're shutting down Night School Studios and Moonlot. This was in a statement made to GameFile. Netflix spokesperson said that the decision to close the two studios was an internal shift focusing on, quote, kids gaming, party games, story-driven fare, and games with mainstream hooks.
So what they mean mobile versions of Too Hot to Handle.
Right. They're looking, I don't know if you know that they put out something called FIFA World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're looking at doing. And by the way, FIFA World Cup, widely panned, hated.
Widely panned, also developer shutdown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nothing.
It was one of their most successful launches, and they closed the studio.
Basically, you're gonna get
quote,
laid off. You're gonna get laid off.
right. If you
No
make
matter
something
what you
bad, you're
do.
going to get laid off. If you make something good, you're going to get laid off. If it
You don't
doesn't sell,
you
you're
don't do
going to get laid
anything.
off. If it sells better than anything else that we've ever made, you're going to get laid off.
Yeah, you're gonna get laid off. Like that's it. Just accept the fact that no matter what you do.
Netflix Game Studios, you're going to get laid off. We see an opportunity, this is their quote, we see an opportunity to be more focused in our execution. So we're making organized changes to the business to match those priorities. What a corporate word salad of bullshit that
Oh,
is.
Azir says, I'm leaving. I need sleep.
Okay, go
Get
go
some
get some
sleep.
sleep. Get some sleep.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
And also, like, slight digression. AC Ray says Castle Rat is a modern take on a 70s, 80s sword and sorcery metal band. They have a role play bit where they raise the dead. I am gonna fucking put these people on my YouTube music and subscribe to them because that sounds awesome.
It does. It does.
Castle Rat. Okay. Sorry, continue.
So, and in addition to Oxenfree, and the sequel, Night School Studios also did a game called After Party.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
After party is good.
So yeah, and I never played it, but I kind of want to play it now. It's essentially it's a game where you are playing two people that go to hell so that you can outdrink Satan.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oxenfree, Aftermath, Oxenfree 2, and Unhinged. They're all good.
Mm-hmm.
Like they made really good games. And
They made good games.
man, I feel like this just really proves don't sell your company to Netflix or Amazon.
Don't sell your company to Netflix or Amazon. Or or Xbox.
Yeah, that's true. Or Xbox.
Yeah. In fact, just don't sell your company. Don't sell your company. It sounds like a great idea, but you're dooming everybody. Look, before you put your name on that dotted line and go, jump into your swimming pool full of gold coins, Scrooge McDuck style, take a look at everybody that's sitting around you and all of your friends and the people and your coworkers and everybody that works there and recognize that you are fucking them. You are going to put them out of work. Not tomorrow, but in the near future, all of those people are going to be unemployed and unemployable because they will put years into your studio and then they will put a couple of years into the new under the studio under the new person, and then they will be fired. So just keep in mind. But then again, those people don't care. They don't care. They're gonna fall asleep tonight on their pillow made of cash.
I
Sleep
love
like
pillows
a
made of
baby.
cash.
Mm-hmm.
You take out all the hair, all the filling. People talk about how good feathers are. Ah, no feathers. I want
No,
dull
no, no. I
hairs.
just make sure you take out all the teeth and the fillings and the plates that came from people's heads of the skeletons of the people that you screwed over. But you know what? Those gold fillings, they're worth a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Uh, your next item.
My next item. Okay, so Twitch has started. So this was discovered like a while ago that Twitch is training Amazon's AI on Twitch streamers. So if you stream content like I believe we are right now, we are currently training Amazon's AI. There's an option in Twitch where you can opt out of this.
Good to know.
Should do that. Most people didn't because they didn't realize that option was there.
I didn't
And a
know until
lot
just
of
now.
and a lot of Twitch people are going, why is this opt in? Like, why did you do this automatically? And, let's see, it
Well, it's
is
opt out. It's opt out. It's
oh yeah,
assumed
opt
in,
out.
opt
Yeah,
out.
assumed opt in. On X, where is the guy? Where's the guy?
Scintillating.
During a patch notes on the official Twitch channel, Twitch
Mm-hmm.
Chief Product Officer Mike Minton flat out said, well, the reason users aren't opted into generative AI training by default is because they wouldn't agree to it if given a choice.
Well, he
So
gets A+ for being honest.
here,
Wow.
let me share the screen. Okay, do you see it?
Mm,
Add to stage. Before presenting, remove other media. Yes.
okay.
So that is Mike Minton and the lady, I actually know her. That's Mary Kish, who does a good podcast called Fire Escape.
Now, why is it not opt-in? That's what everybody is here spamming in chat. I get it. Let me opt in versus making me opt out. Well, there's an honest answer, and I think most of you probably can appreciate this. Like, if it was opt in, nobody would opt in. That's honestly the answer. So by it's going to be on by default, and as I said, almost every content service in the world is on by default. I think the thing that we're doing here that is unique and different is respecting your wishes to opt out of model training.
And I think the people that a lot of people, or the thing that a lot of people are noticing is Mary Kish's reaction of just the slow
I don't know. Play
eye
that
close.
back. Play that again. I want to see that again. Roll that
Is it
back.
not
I wanted to
opt-in?
see.
That's what everybody is here spamming in chat. I get it. Let me opt in versus
I'm
making
watching
me
her
opt
face
out.
now.
Well, there's an honest answer, and I think most of you probably can appreciate this. Like, if it was opt in, nobody would opt in. That's honestly the answer. So by it's going to be on by default, and as I said, almost every content service in the world
yeah,
is on by default.
she's-
I think the thing that we're doing here that is unique and different is
As the head of community, because that's what she is, head of community. She's looking at that going like, yeah,
Oh, this is not gonna
I
go
know.
well. Oh, she's like, and now my day is fucked.
Just
Yep.
like, oh, that's gonna make things harder for me.
Yeah, there was a lot of thought going behind those eyes, those dead eyes that were trying not to have any reaction. It was like,
And so part of this is
mm,
obviously anger at being forced to train an AI. Why is it not opt in? But then also his just flat out admission that like, yeah, if you had to opt in, nobody would opt in.
mhm,
That's funny in a sad way, and also just like at least you're taking the mask off and admitting that
right.
like, yeah, people don't like this shit.
Well, it's a little, I don't know what's more depressing, the fact that in the past someone would feed us some kind of bullshit corporate word salad to essentially skirt around the issue and not say what he just said, or the fact that it's now understood to be so commonplace that they're just not afraid to say the truth. It's like, yeah,
It's
we're
like with
we're
the
totally selling your data. Of course we're selling your data.
it's like
Everybody
with the
sells your
Saber
data. Why
Interactive
would we lie
CEO.
about that? Everybody sells data. You know that. I know that. Why are you even asking?
It's like with the Saber
That's what this
Interactive
is.
CEO. Like, could you just not talk and let me
Could you
pretend
just
that maybe you're smart?
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to open your mouth and prove that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just let me
Mm-hmm.
have the illusion. Let me live in the Matrix. But they
Well,
can't.
it's also a sense of them being so completely out of touch. They
But that's the thing.
actually
He's
think that
not
we'd
out
be
of
okay with
touch.
that.
He's not out of touch because he knows people won't opt in.
Right.
It's not being out of touch. It's
It's
acknowledging that you're on the unpopular side. You still have to do this thing. And I think another question that comes up from this is like, is Mike Minton, is he just saying this because like I'm being forced into this position by Amazon? I don't want to be here. And like,
yeah,
you know what? Fuck them. I'm just gonna
entirely
be I'm
possible.
just gonna be honest of like, look, I have to do this, and if you people don't want to do this, so we force you to do it because that's what we're doing. Like, there's, I don't know. I think the situation highlights the kind of interesting point that AI and tech are at right now, where AI is unpopular. Even if it is widely used, it's widely unpopular. How do you manage something like that?
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
in
so
his
it's
case, you
nice
don't,
to see.
because it's like AI's here. We don't care. You
Mhm.
might scream and you might cry and you might be upset, and we could try to pretend that we're pandering to you by making it opt in. But to be quite honest, get with the program. AI's here and you're all teaching AI every single day. So just get over it. Stop complaining. Stop bitching about it. It's happening. Just lay back and enjoy it.
And so creators have also made a specific tag, AI opted out, for their channels to say, I opted out,
Mm-hmm.
to advertise that.
Yeah, I will be doing that as soon as we're off. I will be opting out of that because I have no desire. If if he or anyone else, here's a way to make people opt in. Incentivize opting in.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. Pay creators to train your bot. Oh my God. Incentivize. You don't even have to pay it. You don't even have to pay us money. Would be nice, but you don't have to pay us. But give us some kind of incentive. Like, give us a little extra juice on your placement in your fucking algorithm, you fuckhead. Make us a little more featured. Whatever. Give us some incentive instead of just taking it from us. Maybe buy us a drink before you fuck us instead of just taking us behind the in the back alley and taking it from us. That's illegal. There's a word for that you can't say on Twitch, but you're doing it. And your answer is you might as well just lay back and enjoy it because it's going to happen anyway. No, incentivize. Give us a reason to want to opt in. You obnoxious fuck. Sorry to
Yes.
use. That's a terrible analogy, but it fits. Sorry, got a little heated about that because I don't
That's
like
okay.
being told to take it.
I
Just take it.
I got distracted looking for
Oh, you look like you were like, I want
something
no part
else.
of what she's saying. I want no
No.
part of what she's saying. She's gone off the rails. That's what it looks like. No. That's right. That's what it looked like. You looked like what's her bucket, the head of community, was like no. The look of like, oh, she didn't just say that, did she? No, that's not.
No,
That's
no. I
not
was
what that silence was. Nick was just distracted.
Yes, I was distracted by looking at potential free PSN games for this month, and one of them is new that we might play together because
Yeah.
it's gotten incredible reviews.
Okay. Well, we will talk about it at the end. But yeah,
Yes.
so Twitch automatically
Yeah.
making us train its bots for free. Um, that's a problem. And there's an easy, stupid, like basic transactional way to solve it. You just chose not to. Let's not beat around the bush. You just decided to take it from us instead of asking us if we wanted it and maybe incentivizing us to want to do it. Pay your way, pay your fair share. Twitch that makes so much damn money. Anyway, moving right along. Do you have anything else to add on this, Nick?
No,
Okay.
I talked all about it.
Okay. Next item is, I guess, me in more corporate fuckery. That's also just an easy segue to every story. More corporate fuckery. Stop Killing Games. The movement from over in Europe is it defines itself as a quote decentralized global initiative demanding legal consumer protections against intentional destruction of video games. And also the game preservation advocate group Does It Play have both announced that they are officially supporting stricting Massenschade and Consumerments fair PlayStation collective lawsuit against Sony in the Netherlands. By the way,
Hmm.
Stichting Massenschade en Consument. It means literally, what is the translation? It roughly translates to mass damage and consumer foundation. So their lawsuit accuses Sony of inflicting a quote Sony tax on PlayStation owners by limiting the sales of PlayStation games solely to the digital storefront. So this is coming as the anti-disc
Wait, so say that again?
efforts. They are calling the lawsuit it says that it is inflicting on the people of the Netherlands a quote unquote Sony tax. And that Sony tax is inflicted by limiting the sales of PlayStation games only to its digital storefront store. So it says SKG and Does It Play are announcing that we're backing SM&C, Strichting Massenschade and Consuments lawsuit against Sony over its total control of PlayStation Store pricing. SM&C has to show the court it actually represents gamers, not just claims to. Our support backs that up globally. Every Dutch gamer who signs on backs it up directly. So SM&C launched its lawsuit in 2025. It's a little bit like the PlayStation You Owe Us lawsuit in the United Kingdom
Yeah.
that said that Sony's monopoly over the PlayStation Store has resulted in its quote abusing its power in the digital game sales market. And it's made worse, of course, by Sony announcing that it's going to cease all the sales of physical PlayStation media starting in
Yeah.
2028, because that means all games only will be in this store that it has total control and monopoly over. Essentially
Which
a closed ecosystem, its own walled garden, which we know those lawsuits have gone pretty far in the United States of having a walled garden.
yeah. But I've never fully been on board these lawsuits because these have been going on for a while. And their claims about they have a monopoly on game prices, but they kind of don't because there are other storefronts.
But
And
they can't sell it on PlayStation though.
Well, yes, you can. Like Mortal Shell is coming out for PlayStation and PC. I think Xbox. But
Can you buy it for PlayStation on their website, or do you have to buy it through the PlayStation Store?
you have to buy it through the PlayStation Store.
That's the problem, because
But that's not monopolistic.
it's a closed ecosystem.
Yes, but it's
If
not.
you
But
want a
but
PlayStation,
but it's not monopolistic. Like
that
that's
might
the
be their
thing.
argument.
And yes, it's a closed ecosystem. That's kind of what all the digital storefronts are. Steam is a closed ecosystem. And I've just never felt like the pricing on PSN is so egregiously different than the pricing on the Xbox store or Steam to warrant the level of lawsuits and like we're being exploited. There's a Sony tax. It's like I've noticed that with the rise of digital distribution, sales on the Xbox store and the PlayStation store have gotten better and more like Steam sales.
Mhm.
And so I've never felt that whole there's a Sony tax, there's an Xbox tax, like where we're paying more. It's like, I are you being exploited? I understand the
So you
how
didn't have a problem with Apple having its own walled garden and only being able to have stuff
I
on the
I did,
iPhone?
but that's different because that's a much larger platform than just games, right? That is a larger thing that interacts with different aspects of your life, different aspects of society, different businesses in a way. And if you have a walled garden around something that has tentacles into all aspects of society, that's a much bigger issue than a walled garden for one piece of entertainment, right?
I can see that.
Netflix is a walled garden. You can only watch Netflix shows on Netflix. That's a walled garden.
Mhm.
Um, and and like I said, I've just never felt like the pricing on PSN is so drastically different than the pricing on Steam to warrant a lawsuit. Like if and look, if your goal is to sue Sony so that you can then sue Valve, I at least understand that from a
Yeah, but
larger scale
Valve
perspective.
doesn't make sense. Here's
But
why
but
Valve doesn't make
but
sense.
they
Because
do the
what
same
does
thing.
Valve? No, no, you're exactly the opposite thing. If you own a PC, you can get your games from anywhere. You can
No, you
get them
can't.
from Valve, you can get them from GOG, you can get them from anywhere. You can download them directly from the publisher. You can get your games anywhere on a PC. That's what makes the PC such a great game
Yes,
platform.
But Valve itself is a closed ecosystem.
Well, if you want to buy your games on Valve, yes, it's a closed ecosystem, but
Yes.
you don't have to buy your games, your PC games on Valve. You have to buy your PlayStation games on the PlayStation Store. There is no other place to go.
Yes. And
And as they state, they have even more control when they get rid of secondhand games and when they get rid of discs, because now I can no longer go to GameStop or Best Buy and buy my games for my PlayStation from anywhere else other than PlayStation Store, which gives them inordinate control
but
over the
I don't
sales
think
and the
it
price and
does.
the conditions of those
I
games.
I I think that is a fundamental misunderstanding of how pricing works on these digital platforms. Because Sony doesn't set the price. Publishers do. And
Right.
publishers have regularly exerted that control. Why are Call of Duty games like they almost never go on sale? Because Activision would never put them up for sale. Once Xbox bought Activision, guess what? Suddenly Call of Duty games are like on sale for $10.
Mhm.
That never happened under Activision because Activision was taking an active effort to not diminish the value of their older games. People always say about Ubisoft, I don't need to buy it day one because I'll just wait 2 months and get it for half off. The publishers and the perception of the publishers and the publishers' own sense of value for their product controls how much those prices change. Sony isn't setting those prices. They're setting prices for their games, but they're not setting prices for other games. That's the publishers doing. And it's the publishers competing with each other and competing with the larger ecosystem that drives the prices. Used sales has not been a major contributor to pricing for a decade. Like
Mhm.
you can say in the lawsuit that like, oh yeah, getting rid of used sales gives Sony full control over how to price things on the storefront.
Mhm.
If 80% of sales are already digital, that's already happened.
Right.
You can't say that this thing will come to pass because this thing has already come to pass.
Mhm.
Like that's already that that already exists. And it turns out that yeah, Sony can't just make all games $60 all the time because publishers don't want that.
Mhm. We'll have to see how this plays in the Netherlands. But I can see your point,
And
but I
okay,
also can see
Netherlands
their point as well.
maybe there's something else about the Netherlands pricing that's different. The one Sony lawsuit that they had a point was the lawsuit about how they used to sell specific cards for digital games, and like if you bought one of those cards you would get a digital version of that game, but then they stopped selling those cards, and something around there once was a physical thing of this that was digital and then they stopped doing that. That seems to have more merit than just the digital storefront is inherently illegal and monopolistic, and therefore we
Well, a
should get rid
digital
of it.
storefront is inherently illegal and monopolistic if it is the only storefront that you can use on your platform to get games. And with the advent of now you can no longer go down to the store and buy a game and actually put it in your console, and you can only buy it from them, it does lock you into
And
PlayStation Store with
yes,
no other recourse, none whatsoever.
we've been locked into the PlayStation Store since the PlayStation 3.
No, we haven't been locked into the PlayStation Store
Yes, you
because we could
have.
always go down to Best Buy and buy a physical copy.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter
That does.
because like you still had to buy that game on PlayStation. You were still playing that game on PlayStation. No matter what.
That's not the problem. That's not Yes, you were playing it on PlayStation. I bought a box to play games.
Yes,
And
I'm
if
saying
it's digital only,
the
then I can
price,
only buy from PlayStation. It's locking me into a
but the
a
price,
commerce path that only ends with PlayStation. There is no other way that I could get any game ever on this game without buying it from the PlayStation Store. Much
the
like
price
there's
of
no
a
other way I could get any app on this phone without going to the App Store.
I'm saying the price of a used copy of God of War 2018 on eBay does not in any way affect the sale pricing of God of War 2018 on PSN. Those two things are not related.
They shouldn't be related.
But the whole argument of this is that they are related. That the price of
No.
the used copy of 2018 God of War on eBay is
No, they're
cheaper.
talking about
No,
future
no,
games.
they're saying
No, they're
they're
talking
saying
about
no.
future games.
They're saying that because the physical version is cheaper, that drags down the price of the digital versions in competition. And by getting rid of the physical versions, you are then locked into the digital versions, and those prices will rise because they no longer have the physical versions at a cheaper price to drag down those prices. And I'm saying that is fundamentally not true.
That is fundamentally not true, but in a future when there are no physical copies to be had of any
Yeah,
game,
that's exactly what I was saying. That the idea is that if that physical copy goes away, the prices of digital will rise. No, it
well,
won't. It won't because what's dragging the digital prices down is not the physical copy, it's the other digital prices that are dragging it down.
right, and that is something that Sony will have a unique and complete control over. They're
No, they
not
won't. They won't. The publishers have control over it.
This is something that will be discussed. This is, I'm sure, part of their argument of this lawsuit. But it is a lawsuit that is going to go forward and is moving
Oh yeah.
forward, and
Yeah.
all of this is going to be hashed out in court.
Yeah, it is. It's just this is like one of many, and I've just never quite. It's always felt like more of like an activist
Yes, it is.
lawsuit, and like
They're doing it
there's
before it
positives
becomes a
to that,
problem.
but it feels like it's taking aim at the wrong thing. The Stop Killing Games initiative is taking aim at like the right things. But I feel like all the lawsuits about the storefront are like they're just off enough that I'm like this. I don't think this is gonna work, and I don't think what you're fighting for is actually true. I think you're fighting for a vision of the world that is fundamentally not true. And so if you even won this lawsuit, I don't think what you want to happen would come to pass because I don't think that what you're presenting is an accurate description of the industry or the business.
Right. As it stands now. I think that
In the
their
future, I don't think
argument,
it's true. I
I
don't think it's
think,
true in the future because you can look at Steam.
right,
Steam is fully digital.
right, but
Steam is
also,
the future of PSN.
right, right. Steam is fully digital, but I can go to GOG and get a game from them as well, and that will keep Steam's prices always in check. If you have a
I
hundred
mean, no,
billion
it
users,
won't.
if you have a
No, it
hundred
won't
million
because Steam
people that
doesn't give a
have,
shit about GOG.
right,
Steam
but
Steam doesn't care about GOG because every other person that tried to compete with Steam has just gone, we give up.
right, but
Steam, if anything,
there's
Steam is the most monopolistic one because it exists on a platform where there have been other competitors, and all of those competitors have gone, fuck it, we'll just use Steam.
but if Steam tripled its prices tomorrow, there would be competition.
Not really. And
If
also, Steam
PlayStation
doesn't set the
and
prices.
that's
Valve
right.
doesn't set the
Right. But
prices.
that is what they're arguing, and this is something that is the difference I think probably about the EU and about Europe than it is for the United States. United States says you can't have it, well, it used to do this, it doesn't do it anymore.
Mm.
It used to be you can't have a monopoly. We're going to stop you before you create the monopoly because it will create a situation where you could conceivably wake up tomorrow morning and double the prices, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have to wait until they prove their monopoly. They have to actually do that thing, and then we have to fight them and backtrack them. That's ever since the whole AT&T and Ma Bell thing. And U.S. government should have been better at identifying monopolies before they happen, especially when people would say, "Hey, there's a monopoly about to happen in the entertainment industry as far as live tickets. You probably shouldn't have Live Nation and Ticketmaster be like owned by the same company. All these ticket brokers all being owned by the same company, and it's the same company that's actually putting on the things. Probably a bad idea." And the government went, we'll figure it out later. And now it's a monopoly, and all of our tickets are, a live concert is $300 to go see for the cheap seats. So in Europe, they're saying, look, it's not a monopoly yet. But once everything goes all digital, it will be a monopoly, and there will be nothing to stop PlayStation from doubling its price.
Except
Would
that
they lose out to the
PlayStation doesn't.
wait, let me finish. Would they lose out to Xbox? Would people buy their stuff on Xbox and PC if they have an Xbox or a PC? But for everybody that bought that PlayStation, you can only buy Baldur's Gate for $150. And if that's all you have, that's it. That's it. That's all you've got. You have to dance PlayStation's dance and pay whatever PlayStation is charging. Are they doing that now? No. Could they do that in the
They don't.
future? Yes. Could they do that in the future? Yes. And that's what it is about monopolies. You want to stop them
PlayStation
before
doesn't
they're
set
created.
the prices.
They can. They can
what you're talking
absolutely
about,
say tomorrow a Sony tax. We're placing a Sony tax. If you're gonna charge $70 for this game, that's great. But if you want to play it on PlayStation, it's 75. It's 80. And then everybody that owns a PlayStation has no choice.
PlayStation
And
could raise those prices, but you have other avenues to play those games.
right,
And that's
if you have the methods to play those games, if you have a PC, yes. If you have an
yes.
Xbox, yes. But if you don't have an Xbox and you don't have a PC and all you have is that PlayStation, you're stuck. That's a monopoly.
I don't think that's enough to be a monopoly.
It's a question. That is a question for them
A,
to
I don't think
decide.
that's enough to be a monopoly. B, like Sony doesn't set the prices, the publishers do.
Not right
And
now, and they
and
can add a
so
Sony tax.
what you're talking about would basically be a collusion of publishers to raise the price of games, which is what they tried to do to create an $80 game,
Right.
but people revolted.
Right. So that's collusion is a whole other thing where Sony would have to go to Xbox and say, "Hey, let's make it $80." And Sony, and it may very well be that Sony goes, "Hey, we're going to charge 85 for this game, okay? We don't care what you think, because if
And
you're on a
like,
PlayStation
yes,
and you want to
you
play it on PlayStation, you got to pay
could.
85. And you know what would happen? Do you know what would happen? Guess what the
They would
price would
sell
be on
less.
Xbox?
Oh, 85.
You're right. So it would drive up prices.
Except that's
Because
not what
that's
we've
why
seen.
monopolies are so bad.
But we've not seen. We have precedent, and that doesn't happen.
You'll see. Really? I see precedent of that happening every single day in the airline industry.
Not in gaming. Not in gaming.
Not in gaming, but other industries.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
But not in gaming, and that's important. Gaming is like
Tell the
gaming is
people
a
buying
uniquely
chips. Tell the people buying chips that
that's
somebody
not the
raising their
same.
prices doesn't affect prices for everybody.
The gaming industry is uniquely price sensitive
Mm-hmm.
in a way that other industries are not.
Well, we'll see. We will see what they say.
Especially like if you're talking about chip makers are targeting businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, they're targeting hyperscalers like Google, Amazon, Microsoft. Those companies, they're not like people, right? People are price sensitive. Like I look at a graphics card and it's $1,000, and the next graphics card is $2,000. I'm like, oh man, that's a lot of money. Oh, should I upgrade? Should I not? That's what typical people think. Businesses like Google and Microsoft and all of them, they don't think like that. They go, how much does it cost? Okay, pay it. Oh, the price went up. Okay, pay it. Oh, the price went up again. Okay, pay it.
Mm-hmm.
You're dealing with someone that has so much money. You can keep raising the price and they'll just keep buying it. And so it's just the whole issue with memory makers and chip makers. The reason that a graphics card costs $5,000 for me is because Nvidia doesn't want to sell me a graphics card because they can sell it to Google instead. That's why it's a different customer base. The reason why consumer electronics is getting destroyed is because all the stuff that consumers used to buy, companies are now buying and they're paying more for it. The whole consumer base has shifted. So unless Sony goes, we have all these PlayStation users, but we don't want to sell them games. We want to sell games to Nvidia. We want to sell games to, I don't know, Saudi Arabia or something. And so we're going to completely change our focus and start trying to sell games to an entirely different customer base. That's the situation that memory's in. It's not applicable to video games.
I agree. I agree, but I'm just talking about how the price change of one will affect if some entity in the marketplace has a potential to raise prices without repercussion from its customers, and they do, other companies will not force that price down. Competing companies in that same marketplace will not force that price down. What will happen is other companies will raise the prices to meet that they will make money on top of it. It's not going to drive anything down.
Yes, and I'm saying that there is no world in which they will not face backlash.
It's more like tariffs. I guess it's more like tariffs on foreign companies, in that by raising the prices artificially, else on some products, it doesn't give other products an advantage, other than the fact that they will raise their prices just as much to make the new higher amount the base. And it doesn't help consumers. Consumers are stuck paying more. And the potential for for Sony to do that is there, because they will have created the PlayStation users will have no other choice but to purchase it from Sony. There is no other way to get a game onto their console.
But
I don't want to. I don't want to
we've
litigate this. I don't want to
okay.
litigate it. It's
I'm just
this
saying.
is what they're arguing.
I'm
We
just
could go.
saying.
We could fall into
There's
this rabbit hole for the next
we've
hour
we've
and
seen
not
so many
agree.
people try to raise prices, right? We've seen Mario Kart World be $80. We've seen GTA 6 be $80. Everyone keeps trying to raise the fucking price and they keep hitting this wall.
Well, we'll see. We will see.
On that note,
Anyway,
I
next
have a
item.
bunch of stories that are pretty small.
Okay.
Um Speaking of GTA 6, I'll talk about one I didn't make a banner for, but I saw there's a news story that like 89% of GTA 6 pre-orders were for the Ultimate Edition,
Mm-hmm.
the $100 edition.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of analysts were just looking at that going, is this actually real? Because this is an insane, like absolutely batshit fucking crazy number to have almost 90% of pre-orders be for the special edition, the increased price edition.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, this is an impossible number.
Right.
And if it
I'm
bears
listening.
out,
I just
if it bears out to be
stepped
true,
away.
if anything, that just speaks to like the strength that GTA 6 has. That, you know what, it could have sold for $100 base, but they offer an $80 version, and that's the version I will be getting because I don't need that extra $20 worth of cosmetics that I won't even know exists.
No.
But yeah, it's just, hey, talking about raising prices, GTA 6 could have gotten away with $100. And to their credit, they stuck with an $80 base. But man, the people that want GTA 6 are willing to pay out the nose for GTA 6. Even if they have an option for a lower price,
Mm-hmm.
they will choose the higher price.
Yes.
So
love GTA for that.
That's just a crazy number. Also, Compulsion Games is now fully separate from Xbox, and as a result, South of Midnight is now self-published on Steam. So if you were waiting to buy South of Midnight because you wanted to just have all the money go to Compulsion, now's the
Now
time
you
to do
can.
it.
What was it? Did I also hear that it's now free on Xbox? Because I think I saw that some game where somebody left the company. Now it's Xbox made the game free because it's no longer making any money on it. So, but it's still published on their
No, I
platform.
mean it's part of Game Pass.
Maybe that's what it is. They made it part of Game Pass.
No, it was always part of Game Pass.
Something else. I will have to look it up.
Yeah.
There was another one. Anyway, you keep looking.
Okay. The next story. The PSN Plus for August is shockingly packed. So the reason I was distracted when you were talking about AI is because I was looking up the free PSN games, the ones that you get for subscribing to PSN for August are Dying Light 2, Signalis, which is like an indie horror game that's really good, and Big Walk, which is a friend slot game that just came out and is, I believe, the highest critically rated game of the year so far.
Really?
Big Walk is apparently incredible.
I have heard really good things about it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that well rated.
It is the highest rated game of the year. So yeah, if that's free on PSN, I will have to pick that up. Maybe we'll play together. Maybe we'll do something. But in addition to that, the PSN Game Pass equivalent is getting like a ton of good games as well. It's getting Helldivers 2, which remember was published by Sony, but it's not part of their subscription service because Sony doesn't put their first party games on the subscription service. But Helldivers 2 is now part of that subscription service. So is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Vampire Survivors, Hell is Us, Uma Masume Pretty Derby, the horse girl training game, 2 Point Museum, Metro Exodus, and then a couple other PS2 games, if you're like on this highest tier. But like, damn, that is a fucking number of games. Dying Light 2, Metro Exodus, Hell is Us, Vampire Survivors, Kingdom Come, Helldivers 2. Like, shit.
Let's see. I'm
Shockingly
reading on
packed.
this. There's no, reading from Kotaku, there's no reason not to play South of Midnight anymore. With Compulsion Games now
Yeah.
newly independent, their BAFTA-winning game is now free from Xbox and anything else that might have kept you from trying it.
So it's free from Xbox. Did you?
Right. Right. Oh, it's free from Xbox. I see. It's not free from Xbox. It's free from Xbox. It's free
Yes.
of Xbox.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So yeah, pretty good month for PSN Plus. And then the other
Yeah.
story I have is that 2K has created a new sports studio with a bunch of ex FIFA developers.
Oh, nice.
That new studio is called Small Axe, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Small Axe, which they say will create 2K's next blockbuster sports franchise. 2K, as you know, it makes a bunch of 2K basketball, but that's kind of the only major sports game they have because EA locked up the rights to football.
Mm-hmm.
But this suggests that maybe 2K is looking to create a soccer game with a bunch of ex FIFA people. Expect a ton of microtransactions like the 2K NBA game has.
Mm-hmm.
But I think some competition in the sports game market is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I with EA now being what it is, I think that the opportunity for non-licensed but good sports games are definitely available to them, especially from 2K, who has this long-standing history of good sports games. It's got the name recognition. I think I'm hoping the best because good Lord, EA needs some competition. And there's certainly enough bad press and probably will be more. And it may very well be that they're positioning themselves with the anticipation of EA having problems in the future, being
Yeah.
saddled with all of that debt.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to be right there to be when EA stumbles, they'll be right there to pick up the pace right behind them and say, "Hey, you hey guys, you don't want to be with them, do you really?" All right, my last item.
Okay,
Oh,
wait.
go.
Other quick story. Like I said
Mhm.
earlier, Phantom Blade Zero put out an 11-minute gameplay trailer. Looks cool. Important point is there'll be a longer look at it at a state of play on Monday, August
Mhm.
17th,
Tomorrow.
tomorrow,
Mhm.
at 7 p.m. Pacific.
I will be watching. All right, my last item is an interesting story that comes out of China. China has ruled, and this is not applicable in the United States. Keep this in mind. This is only in China because what happens in China stays in China. Uh, that gaming accounts are inheritable after a person's death.
Hmm.
So Steam doesn't officially allow it. GOG does. But this was a situation where a mother of a man in Beijing who died, she had a 36-year-old son, he passed away, and she wanted to inherit his 87 accounts with an unspecified game company, didn't say who the game company was, in order to supplement her income. So he had passed away from an illness. The information from it came from the People's Court Daily, which is a newspaper that is affiliated with China's Supreme People's Court.
Mm-hmm.
So the man's the surname was Gu or Hu in some translations, but he, quote, became addicted to online games in his early 20s. He was unemployed and Goose spent the next decade playing games all over across eight. Well, actually, it looks like with one company, but he had 87 verified accounts with this company. And because he'd played so long on all of these accounts were actually quite valuable. So he died following an illness, and his mother, who was on a fixed income, very poor, she was cleaning up his stuff And she was previously widowed. She's now alone. She's struggling. And she only learned about the gaming accounts. This is word for word from the translation. Only learned of the gaming accounts' potential value after organizing her son's funeral and then unsuccessfully attempted to have them transferred into her name. And this is true. Accounts, going back to the World of Warcraft days or even earlier, you could sell your account for quite a lot of money, depending on what equipment it had on it, depending
Was
how
that
long it's happened.
always allowed? I thought that WoW.
No.
I thought you could do that, but WoW like always banned it.
Well, banned it, but everybody did it. Everybody
Okay.
sells accounts. And some of these accounts can be very expensive,
But
according
then what this whole situation means is that even if she inherits the accounts, but she still can't technically sell them to make the money she needs to
in
supplement her
China,
income.
it might be different rules in
Okay.
China for selling
Okay.
accounts. But it was valuable enough that, and I'm assuming that that value is because she can sell the games or sell the accounts. So she had said that left as his mother, and he had a sister, but the sister said she didn't want any of the anything from her brother's name. So she essentially left the entire inheritance to her mother, and the mother filed suit to say, these are inheritable and I can sell them. These are valuable and they are part of his estate and they should be considered part of his estate. Now, the company said that the user agreement for the game said that the accounts and the virtual items belong to the company, as all user item agreements do. Users had, according to those legal terms, quote, limited right to use the data information. That's kind of a standard term in these terms of service for most of these games. So it came down to something in Chinese law about inheritable property. And previous courts had ruled and determined that previous courts' rulings had determined include online virtual properties. So they had some precedence for online virtual properties being inheritable property. And thus they were protected by the Civil Code of the People's Republic of China. So the court's logic, when it made its ruling, said that because a person needs to invest their time, effort, and money to quote unquote cultivate the account, that the account itself and the virtual items within have quote use value and transfer value. So it's not the actual properties, but the fact that someone had to invest time and money and effort to acquire those, that gives them an inheritable property status.
Yeah, the
So,
fact that they worked for it made it valuable enough to transfer.
right, exactly.
Huh.
Just signing up for it and getting an account doesn't make it valuable. It's the time, money, and effort put in by the person that
Interesting.
makes it valuable.
That
And
means
therefore it becomes inheritable.
the value doesn't come from some inherent property of the thing. It's what you do with the thing that
It's
creates the value.
the
That's
investment of the time in order to acquire it that gives
such
it the
an
value.
interesting redefinition or like reconsideration of value itself and where value comes from.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that ruling.
So the ruling said that
Huh.
that the companies have 15 days to give her ownership of the accounts. And the compromise, if any, is that the same user agreement rules are transferred to the heir.
Yeah. So that
So
if
this
she
does
if she
set a
sells it,
precedent.
she needs to you're not gonna don't say you're gonna sell the accounts. It's
Right. You're just going to play them, right?
yeah, you're gonna play all
You're going to play
87 of the
87
accounts.
accounts.
Oh yeah, okay. 87 accounts with one game. Was this guy a gold farmer in WoW? Like
Probably. Well, he was obviously a shut-in. He was unemployed. He never worked. He played these games for 10 years. This game for 10 years on 87 different accounts. It may very well be he was a gold farmer. Maybe that's what gave it
something
value.
going on. Something going on there.
Maybe that's what gave it value, is the gold farming.
Yeah.
But bottom line is that these games now, because of the time and money that he spent to put into them to make them valuable, they are now inheritable property, and heirs can inherit valuable game accounts in the future.
I like that.
Yeah. So not applicable in the United States law, but it is an interesting argument that was certainly successful over there, given the previously created precedents about inheritable value.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there are, I mean, Chris has said that he's got a couple of accounts on some mobile games that he's like, oh yeah, people sell these accounts all the time, and I actually figured out how much this account's worth. It's about $40,000.
Jesus Christ.
But he's been playing it for about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
But he plays it every single day and has been playing it, and it's a game that is still really well played, but there's no way nobody can join the game now.
Is it
Because
Raid
you'd be
Shadow
so
Legends?
It's not Raid Shadow Legends, but it's something along those lines where you have to be in a guild and the guild has properties and you have to be with other people. And if you tried to move in and actually drop your city somewhere, that you would just be inundated by people just destroying you instantly.
Okay.
So there's really no new users in this game because new users can't get in. So the only way to get into this game is to buy an account from someone. And yeah, a lot of people in Asia playing it. A
Okay.
lot of Asian players. So yeah, he could put it. He said, yeah, they sell
So
these
he
accounts, and he
sell it. He
figured it
can
out, and it's like $40,000 for this
he can
game.
sell
Or
his
I can
account
sell
to
my account
someone in China so that they can then pass the account on to their
on to
children.
their children.
Hmm.
Yeah. It makes sense. If you have a game that been around for 10 years and had so much
I mean, yeah, it's not just the
added to it,
yeah.
and you've played it consistently and kept that game up to date, stayed in the guild, done your raids, got all the equipment, got all the stuff, have hundreds of characters in
It's a
this
high
game,
level WoW account.
high level WoW
Yeah.
accounts. Yeah, you could absolutely sell those accounts. And if it's
Which
got all the stuff and all the equipment,
yeah, which is nice
and there's
because
the difference with WoW is that you can start a new WoW account and play right now. In a lot of these games, you can't start a new account and come in because one, the game is
really.
now too insanely complex. Too
Oh,
insanely complex. And two, it's so populated and so aggressive that if you, like I said, came in as a new player, you would instantly be obliterated.
the user base is
Yeah,
shrunk and it's
think
now
like
just
Eve Online, but
hardcores.
like mobile
Yeah. Yeah,
and
that's
not an
interesting because
infinite star system.
it applies the value that you can kind of easily track of like a Steam account or Apple account because you can
Mhm.
say, well, look at the stuff I've bought on Steam. That means my Steam account has a value of X dollars. Like it's very
Right.
easy to calculate that. But like the account of an online game is more difficult to calculate the value. But if you're considering that time investment in self and investment in accumulating points and things has giving value, then yeah,
Mhm.
the WoW account is valued in the same way that the Steam account is valued.
Yeah, and
I like
maybe it is a
that.
gold farmer account and it had millions, millions
Yeah,
and
maybe it
millions
has
and
millions
millions
in
of
gold.
gold.
Yeah.
And gold, I don't believe gold selling is illegal in China.
Mm.
So if he has billions of gold, say it's a WoW account, if he have billions of gold in WoW accounts and it's legal to sell gold in China, then yeah, that thing has actual value and she should be able to inherit that gold and sell that gold. So, yeah. Anyway, um we don't know what game it is. I would be very curious to find out what game it is.
Yeah.
But if it is WoW, that would be even more interesting because then it would be a foreign company and their terms of service essentially for digital, their digital rights to the digital rights of gold have now been completely stripped from them in China.
Hmm.
So we'll see. But yeah, I agree with you that this is an interesting take on the situation that I don't know would translate necessarily over here, but it would be very interesting if it did. By the way, and also pointing out that GOG allows you to inherit your accounts,
Oh, okay.
but
Nice.
Steam doesn't. You can't inherit somebody's Steam account, but you can inherit somebody's GOG.
No, I can just give you my password and then live forever.
That's what Kevin's doing.
Mm-hmm. Death, death. I live. I will live on
Forever.
in Steam forever.
So,
Yeah.
all right. What you gonna play this next? Actually, next week we are not gonna have a show.
Yes, because I will be at a wedding. I will not be here. I will be back the week after next week, but then I will be gone the week after next week.
Right. So
It'll
I
be off and
will.
on for a while.
Right, it'll be off and on weeks when Nick isn't here and I am probably going to stream on Twitch. I'm gonna try to stream on Twitch. I'm just gonna tell Chris I have a podcast and not tell him, and then just come over here and game.
You should stream like the Game of Thrones Crusader Kings 3.
I don't know. I think that would be very boring for most people. It is a very boring game to watch.
Yeah,
It
but Game of
really
Thrones makes
is.
things a bit more interesting.
Not really. It's a very boring game. Also, I have to
Okay.
remind myself how to play Crusader Kings again.
Mm.
It is a pretty
Yeah.
boring game to watch.
Well, what do you think you'll stream?
Don't know.
Okay.
Anybody want to make any suggestions on what I should stream? Put it in the general section of the chat.
Call to the Lamb.
Sorry,
Call to the Lamb's always fun.
not the chat, the general section of our Discord server. I will be happy to play something. Maybe I don't know if I want to play Cult of the Lamb. I want to play something different. Maybe Baldur's Gate. Start a new Baldur's Gate on PC. Maybe God, what could I play? I can play anything pretty much on Steam. Now that I have a Steam Deck or a Steam,
Yeah.
yeah, I can play pretty much anything at this point, and I would love to do it on the Steam Deck. So yeah,
Any number of the new games you got.
mm-hmm.
So Mortal Shell, as
Uh-huh.
I said, comes out on the 20th. I actually think I might get that one on PC so that I can play it on the Rogue Ally while I'm away and on the
Mhm.
Steam machine when I'm back at home. I think that
I'm
might be the first bigger budget game that I try to
okay.
do multi things with.
I'm really honestly feeling like a cozy game. Maybe in anticipation of Grand Theft Auto, but I'm feeling like I want to play some cozy games.
Okay.
So I might do I don't want to do Stardew Valley because I've done Stardew Valley till my eyes bleed. I can't do that anymore.
I mean, cozy is a whole tag on
Yeah.
Steam.
Yeah.
So
So I might just play something cozy, and stream it, or not. I'll look to see. You mentioned a bunch of stuff today that sounds really interesting. I might want to play that. What was the one that you said that was the highest rated game?
Big Walk.
Big Walk. I might play Big Walk.
It is a co-op game. Like it has a big emphasis on co-op.
Okay, maybe not then. Well, anyway, either way, we will be. I guess we can take this banner off now, can't we? Either way, happy to do that next week while Nick is away, and then I'm gonna put our because we're gonna have some spotty stuff. We're not doing PAX West this year, FYI. Not doing PAX West, first year ever. Mostly comes down to my finances. Is that I do not have the money to go to PAX this year after going to New York just last month. So yeah, next year probably not gonna. I'm probably gonna plan. I'm gonna have a better financial plan for having 2 trips because last year I didn't have a trip in summer right before PAX. Next year, I'm gonna try and see if we can do the trip a little earlier in the summer vacation so we don't have to do it 2 weeks before PAX or 3 weeks before PAX. Either that or I'm gonna have to do a lot more saving. Meanwhile, I will put our schedule of when we will be streaming and when we won't be streaming in the Discord. So please, if you're interested, if you haven't already, join our Discord server. Discord information. No, there it is, right there, coming across the screen. And if you're listening to this on this podcast, it is in the description of wherever you're listening to this podcast. It's also in the description of our channel. So if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook, in the actual, on the channel page, you will see our Discord information. So you can go there and find it as well. So on that note, you ready to close us out?
Yeah.
All right. Let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 829. We are recording this on Sunday, August 16th, 2026. I'm Edie Sellers. With me is Nick DiNicola. Ways to get a hold of us. GameHounds.net is our website. GameHounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live every Sunday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. On Facebook and Twitch, we are The GameHounds. On YouTube, we're GameHounds Vids, V-I-D-S, all one words, as in videos. GameHounds Vids. Please join us. If you'd like to talk to us live or see us live, you can chat in the chat room. By the way, everybody in the chat room, thank you so much for being here. I saw Bartender Say, I saw Forget Your Life, of course, AC Wraith, who does all of the links, everything that we talked about
Ezio.
in this.
Ezio's in here chatting a lot.
Right? Yeah. If you heard us talk about anything and you want to find a link to that information, just go to YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, look in the comment section. He puts a link for absolutely everything that we've talked about in the chat. So you can it's essentially sourcing all of our information so that you know that we're telling the truth. Please feel free to go there and check those out. If you can't find it on Google yourself, you can always find it there. So, ways to support us. First off, if you are listening to us as an audio podcast on Apple Podcasts or iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to your podcasts, please leave us some feedback there or leave us a thumbs up or any kind of feedback, star, whatever it takes. Subscribe to us so that you know when we're on every week. Thank you so much for all of you who have already done that. And if you haven't, we would love it if you could, because it does make a very big difference for us. The other ways that you can support us is subscribe. If you haven't subscribed wherever you're listening or watching us, please do so. We get a little bit of money, but a little bit of money adds up to little tiny raindrops that make big oceans for us. We don't anticipate an ocean. We just want to help pay our bills and keep ourselves going into our 20th year coming up. Now, the other way to support us is through our Patreon. Patreon.com/GameHounds. $1 a month is all we ask to help support us and keep us going and help pay our bills. So please do that if you can. Thank you to all of you who already have, and we look forward to those who will be joining that caliber of listener in the future. AC Ray, thank you for doing all of our links and everything. Nick, we will talk to you in a couple of weeks. Have a good one, everyone.
Yes.
Bye.
So,
Yeah.
a couple things. In the chat, AC Wraith put Minami Lane has a game he recommended for a cozy game.
Okay.
It's like a street management where you're building out your own city street and just filling it with things that people like. And I thought, oh, that
Oh.
looks cute. I wonder if
That
it's
looks
available
cute.
on iOS. So I searched. It doesn't exist on iOS, but for some reason, one of the games that came up in the search results is Daddy's Restaurant.
That
And
sounds creepy.
it just looks like a cooking simulator, but like, why? Why is it called Daddy's Restaurant? It's
Because it's creepy.
yeah, I don't
call
know.
anybody daddy anymore.
So I was just like, that's weird. Also, I highly recommend, just like when you have 5 minutes, go on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
and watch the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. But
Mm-hmm.
Do it after, Chris's daily smoke. Like take a
Mm-hmm.
couple extra hits.
Daily medication?
Yeah, take a couple extra hits and
Okay.
then watch the trailer.
Okay.
Because I watched it sober and I have just absolutely no fucking clue what's going on.
You need somebody to
I
translate it from
I
cannabis speak? Got it.
I just I know people love Kingdom Hearts 4, but like I'm watching this trailer and there's a scene of Mickey like, "Woohoo! The portal is opened into the Hellmouth." And I'm like, "What the fuck is Mickey talking about?"
Go fuck yourself.
It's like he doesn't say Hellmouth, but like he's giving Final Fantasy, like crazy Final Fantasy exposition in his
Mm-hmm.
Mickey Mouse voice. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then Donald Duck and Goofy appear as ghosts because they're in the Coco world, the Mexican underworld. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then there's a giant kaiju, a giant like demon kaiju in Japan destroying buildings. I'm like, how do you get from that to Coco World to Mickey Mouse exposition? It's nuts. It is so nuts. The Kingdom
That
Hearts 4 story is insane. There was a whole podcast that used to be on Waypoint where they played like all the Kingdom Hearts games and then tried to recap the story. I listened to that whole series. I can't tell you what happened in Kingdom Hearts, even though I listened to them recap every episode in every game, because half of the conversation was, oh, and then Sora's clone went and did this, and like, no, it's not his clone, it's his digital double. It's like, no, it's not his digital double, it's a clone that doesn't have a heart, but then he got a heart, so he became a new person, not just his clone. It's no, that's a
oh God.
different character who became the clone. It's like
Oh.
they don't even know what's going on. And
Wow.
so it's an insane, like the story and lore is absolutely crazy. But I gotta respect all the people into Kingdom Hearts 4. Ezio was talking about it earlier in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just like, man, that is a game I cannot get into. You cannot play Kingdom Hearts 4 unless you have played all the previous games.
Okay. Well, that's good to know because I never wanted to play any of the previous
No,
games,
no,
and I
I'm not.
remember when they first came out.
And I'm telling you, you don't have to play the games. But that means the trailer should be especially entertaining because you're going to watch it going,
What the fuck is going on here?
what?
Okay.
What?
All right. I kind of sort of want to watch it with you.
Okay.
Like we both get high and watch it on stream.
I mean, I've
Oh,
already
I
seen
forgot
it.
to tell you something. I have something for you
Oh, okay.
that I got in New York. Actually, I have something for all of us here.
Oh,
All right. So I got this at FAO Schwartz.
okay.
And it's something that I was hoping to do it this week, but I needed to come by your house in order to bring it to you. And then I thought, we'll just do it next week. But now we're not going to do it next week. So we might
No,
have to do it
yeah.
the week after.
Okay.
So we're gonna go on a little taste explosion moment.
Okay.
We are both going to eat these on podcast. It goes into remember we did that like
The
the
macaroni?
macaroni and cheese gummies?
Yeah. I remember I was hesitant to try those, but once I tried them, it's like,
They were quite
okay,
good. I ate
this
the
is
whole
pretty
thing
good.
eventually. They
So
were.
did I. So did
All right.
I.
So there's this stuff called Final Boss Sour. Okay.
Oh, okay. Is this because we were talking about warheads the other day?
All right. If you will notice, there is Final Boss Sour. I bought a thing of Final Boss Sour level 1.
Oh, I see level 1. Oh boy.
Now they do have multiple levels, 1, 2,
Mhm.
3, and 4. I did not buy all 4 of them,
Okay.
but I did buy
Oh, that's a level
the
4?
Final Sour. So I have level 1
Oh, level 1 and level 4.
and level 4.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to, and I don't do well with sour.
Oh, you know what? I think it says something about me. I can feel my mouth watering.
Yeah, exactly. It's like starting to ache back here because I'm thinking about
I
it.
can feel it water, and you know what? It's like, ooh, I could go for a good sour hard candy, a
Oh
warhead.
no, 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 no. That does not
Oh,
feel good to me. So yeah, so we're going to try these, and I'm gonna see if I can do the level 4. I will try level 1. Oh God, my mouth is watering just thinking about. But if I can't do level 1, I probably won't be able to do level 4. I might try it for a second, but I might have to spit it out. Claire is dying to get her hands on this, and I'm like, you cannot
mm.
open these because I bought these for the podcast. And she's like, hurry up and try them on the podcast so you can give them back to me. So yeah, we will be eating these.
I will happily eat those.
The back says on level 1. In level 1, Hank and Quinny climb the zing gussets of the Bramblebrine Beach to reach the lemonade-coated strawberries that grow beyond. Zipping through the fog to stop them is Caustica,
Jupiter, did
the
you open
diluted
more?
queen bee who has regained her vicious sting by surviving the final boss. Now that's level 1. The story on the back of level 4 looks like the FAA put their little dots on the backs of this that said that they looked at them. So I have to take
Okay.
off the little FAA dots, bastards.
Jupiter has actually forced his way into the office.
Oh gosh. Hi, Jupy.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the story on level 1.
That was kind of insane.
All right, then the story on the back of level 4, if I can get this stupid fucking sticker off. Good lord, what do they make this with? I'll try to read through the sticker. Okay. In level 4. Okay, the caption. Uh-oh. We lost Nick. Nick? Oh, there we go. What
I'm back.
happened?
Cat trouble. Cat nuzzled the mouse, which somehow exited the stream. I
Okay.
think the back button.
So the first story starts with a zap.
Okay.
Now I don't have the story for level 2 or level 3, but the story in level 4 is in level 4, Hank and Quinny fall through the rot mouth hole of the torture orchard and land in the Temple of Flames, where the world's sourest oranges burn eternal. Awaiting them is Magmara, the vicious cassowary, her hunger for dominion reborn as a devotion to the final boss.
What the fuck is this?
Don't know. But no artificial colors or flavors.
An evil cassowary.
Evil cassowary. There you go. There's
Okay.
your evil cassowary right there.
Okay, he does look pretty evil.
Yep. And we have until June 3rd of 2028 to eat these.
Okay, I think we can do that.
Yeah. Oh God, I don't even like holding these things. So when you come back, I will stop by and bring you some.
Okay. I look forward to it.
No,
I'm excited. I am
am
excited.
not. I am not. But you can purchase all 4 levels at FAO Schwartz.
Ooh, can I get them online?
I'm sure.
Oh, maybe I should get 2 and 3.
Do you want to get 2? No. Go nuts if you do want to get 2 and 3. And then we can just do a switch.
Okay, I'll have to check on that. I'm petting a cat
Okay. All right.
right now.
Well, I gotta go because I gotta go to the bathroom and then I gotta eat. And
Oh,
I
okay.
will talk to you all later. AC Wraith, it was really awesome to have you here.
Yes,
Whatever else,
always
there's 2
awesome.
other. Yeah. Let's see.
AC Wraith says the story of the final boss still less complicated than Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
And that Coco is a good movie starring a wannabe guitarist. I approve.
Okay. Good to know. Oh, movies.
Coco is good.
I saw, what was the movie about the beekeeping movie?
The Beekeeper?
Rivals
Oh,
of
Rivals of
Amaziah,
Amaziah.
Amaziah King. Rivals of Amaziah King. Really good. I really liked it. Really
Okay.
liked it. It's
I
a
I
little long. The music is fantastic. It's a wee bit long, but I'm okay with it being long. I feel like somebody wanted to cut it and someone's like, no, don't.
I
Don't
went to
do it.
see a movie called The Wrong Girls, which is a stoner
Yes.
comedy
Stoner comedy
with
with Kristen
Kristen
Stewart.
Stewart.
Hmm.
Um, I was like, I was late to the movie, and so I was like, okay, I'm coming in. It's probably already started, but it's like 2 minutes. It's probably started 2 minutes. So I went in the theater, sat down, and I'm watching this Asian girl go around to people talking about honey. And it's like, oh, I'm looking for these people who sold some honey, looking for some people who sold some honey. And I was like, okay, there's apparently some crime thing going on. Okay, this must be the prologue. This must be like they're looking for honey and somehow the girls get wrapped up in it. And it goes on. She's talking about honey. And I'm sitting there going, this doesn't feel like a stoner comedy.
You're in the wrong theater.
And so I was like, okay, wait. I went into theater 4.
Yeah.
Look at my phone. Theater 3. Okay, let's get out, go down, sit down, and immediately Kristen Stewart and Ali Shackwith are sitting there smoking. And I'm like, okay, I'm in the right place.
Yeah, if
I'm
you're
in the right
a
place.
girl going around talking about selling honey, so stolen honey, then you were in the middle of the Rivals of
Yes.
Amaziah
And so
King.
after the movies, I was on my phone scrolling through all the movies at AMC going, okay, what was the movie I walked into? What was it? And I realized it must have been that one because it mentioned bees and honey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't remember his name. McConaughey.
Yeah, Matthew
Matthew
McConaughey.
McConaughey. Yeah. He's in the first half of the movie, and he's very good.
Okay.
If you have issues with bees and bugs that make you twitch, don't see it because there's a lot of bees. There's a
Okay.
lot of bees in that movie. And it also points out that people are kind of stupid around bees, unnecessarily so.
Like we keep waving to get them out of the way, and all that's gonna
Yeah,
do
or,
is just anger them.
bees, run,
Hmm.
And, Matthew McConaughey's like, yeah, people are making things worse. He's Mr. Even keel in this movie. But the music is fantastic. In fact, it has some extended kind of musical interludes that probably
Okay. I
could
like
have been
those.
cut, but I'm glad they were left in.
Yeah, you gotta set
It
the
just
mood.
it adds flavor to it, and you will walk out of that movie not hungry for honey.
Okay.
You will walk out of that movie hungry for potluck. You're going to
Okay.
walk out of that movie hungry for gravy
It's
and biscuits and collard greens and macaroni and cheese and brisket. Brisket.
AC Wraith linked to the Wicker Man scene, not the
Nah,
bees.
not the bees. Yeah, if you have issues with bees, yeah, that movie's gonna make your skin crawl. But it's not a horror movie at all. It's not. It's an independent Black Bear film. It's not a horror movie at all. But if you do have issues with bees, you might it might make you squirm a bit. But it's a good, really good movie. Really good movie.
Good.
Oh, that reminds me, I have to put that on my letterboxd that I saw it.
I
All
should make
right,
one of those.
speaking of movies, I'm probably gonna go see another movie tonight. So I probably have
Do you know what
somebody
you're
at home
seeing?
wondering. I have no idea. I just let him pick
No.
movies
End of
at this
Oak
point.
Street is really good.
I
It's good.
I can't see it.
Why?
J.J.
Oh, because it's
Abrams.
J.J. Abrams. You don't like Abrams. It's only produced by Bad Robot. He doesn't
I
have
don't
anything to do with
care.
it.
I don't care. He can suck my cock. For what he did to me and my family, he can
Then
suck my cock all day, all night, in every orifice.
I'm not sure what
My
else is playing. Then
long, greasy dick.
it's a short. Not much out this week, other than those.
Yeah. I get to be
You
doubly
could go see
angry
the
because I can
Odyssey.
be angry for my
Did you
dead
ever
husband angry.
see the Odyssey?
Yeah, saw it they came out
Oh, okay.
in
Never
70
mind then.
millimeter.
Yeah.
I didn't see it in IMAX, but I hear it is fantastic.
If
in
you saw it
IMAX.
in 70 millimeter, you saw it in IMAX.
No, IMAX and 70 millimeter are two different things.
Yeah, but like I don't think you can have 70 millimeter outside of IMAX.
Yeah, you can. I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Yeah, we saw it in 70 millimeter. We did not see it in the IMAX theater, and there's only 25 of those in the country, and the only
Yeah.
one in the area is at Metreon. We didn't see it at Metreon. We saw it in Redwood City. And it's really good.
It's good.
And the girl child had read the Odyssey in school last year, and when we got done, we stopped, at the end of the movie, came at the end, and she looked over, she goes, "They left out so much." And I'm like, "Good for you. Good for you." She was finished. Like, I can't believe how ripped off we were. They left out so much of the story. And I'm like, well, would you really have wanted to see the movie with all of it put in? Because it was already a 3.5 hour movie. Would you want to see it all day long to get the whole story? She was like, yeah, good point. It's not like it didn't move quickly, kid.
Mhm.
It moves at a pretty good clip.
Classic book was better.
The book was better. The book was better. Good for you. I love the fact that you could go look at see the Odyssey and go, meh. The book was better.
AC says, really, so many people younger than me missed Greek mythology. I'm happy it's back.
Yeah, it's definitely back. It's certainly back in Silicon Valley in the Bay Area, where every kid is expected to go to Princeton. So, yeah, and I think she wasn't in AP English, but she was in Advanced English, and they made her read that in Advanced English.
He says some of the reactors he watched Sandman and thought Morpheus was a Matrix reference.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Yeah, that does hurt. What a shame. Well, the nice thing is you get to walk out of situations like that feeling extremely superior. You get to be that person that goes, but actually.
And also, you know what? That says the Matrix has a solid foothold, has like a foundational piece of media for people like pop culture entertainment. And that's awesome.
That was Kevin's and my first date.
That's
seeing
good.
The Matrix.
It's a good movie to go on a date for.
The Parkway Theater in Oakland, which was legendary because it was the first of the cafe theaters, where you can get food, and it was an old decrepit theater that they just ripped out all the seats and put in couches. So it was just couches and tables, and they had pizza, and whoever started that place obviously had worked at Blondie's Pizza, which is the best pizza. They worked at Blondie's Pizza, and Kevin was his first job for many, many, many years was pizza guy. So he knew pizza, and the first time he tasted, he goes, "That's Blondie's recipe. That is Blondie's Pizza. Somebody here knows Blondie's secret recipe and is making Blondie's Pizza back there, and it's delicious." He loved the Parkway Theater pizza. And it was an absolute grindhouse. Stinky, smelly, creaky. It was a double feature. I think it was a double feature. Yeah, I think it was a double feature because in between the two movies, Kevin and I let ourselves out on the out the fire escape. There was actually a door to a fire escape, not alarmed. We went out there and smoked a cigarette and came back in for the second episode.
1999 was so different.
It really was. It was 99. Good times. All right. Everybody, we will talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
See you in 2 weeks.
Yes.